Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout vid. I know I haven't done one in the last week or so. So this actually is going to be a special one. Tonight I got Zone 6 on the line, and I also got Low Place. Ain't no place, not low place on ain't no place like Low Place on the line as well. They're gonna do a live debate. This debate's going to be on about Adonis Stevenson. Now, the topic is: should Adonis Stevenson pursue undisputed championship just to fight his way out of obscurity? Zone Six is going to present his arguments, and Low Place is going to present his arguments as well. So this is going to be an open discussion. I'm going to mute, and the chat. Whoever the winner, you guys can determine the winner in the chat. I'm not going to determine anything. I'm going to just stay out of it, along with Charlie Brown, who's also on the line as well. We're going to stay out of it, and we're going to let these two battle out. So who wants to go first?
Man, skip all that, man. Everybody know point blank period that Adonis Stevenson ain't no different from no other fighter. He's supposed to pursue undisputed to be the best. He ain't got no Hall of Famers on his resume. He ain't got no all time greats on his resume. He got knocked out by Darnell Boone, and he's on borrowed time right now. Everybody know that. This is just the reality of it. I mean, just because we got a fan that's delusional going around YouTube harassing people, that doesn't give anything that he stands on credit. But for us real boxing fans, hiding under the WBC belt is just not simply enough. Okay. And another thing is I'm glad that I got Low Place on the line now so I can confront his lies face to face. The stuff that he's saying that is contradictory that I stated. But the facts of the matter is that his linealship has been tossed around. I mean, like nothing. I mean, you let Kovalev come
Can
in
I
there and
butt
you
in? Can I
what's
butt in? If
go ahead.
his lineage has been tossed around, that means he would have officially lost it in the ring and became a two-time lineal champion by winning it back. A lineage cannot be tossed around outside of the ring in a boardroom on YouTube. It is not our right to determine a lineage. I don't care if we're talking about Andre the Damn Giant, who is the champion. I don't care if we're talking about Zeus as the champion. If he won his lineal title, your job is to knock on door number one, not door one through number four, which would be the WBO, WBA, IBF. You have one common goal in boxing. When Muhammad Ali was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world after he took it from Sonny Liston, he didn't have four belts. In a time where a lot of people would tell you boxing was better, you can't sit out here and say, Zone, can I ask you, have you ever said there was too many belts in boxing?
Hold on. You ain't gonna do that, Playboy. You can slow right down. You said let you butt in.
Okay.
You spoke your piece. Now I'm finna get back at you. So you could counsel that today. First of
You
all,
didn't want to answer my questions.
first of all, no, you rebutted, and then you not finna get a question too. You could get your question after I get done. Okay, like I said, undisputed is better than lineage. Is nobody in the YouTube universe that's gonna tell any real boxing fan otherwise. The fact of the matter is, we ain't talking about Muhammad Ali. We ain't talking about none of those lame examples you got. We talking about Adonis motherfucking Stevenson that's supposed to be pursuing light heavyweight lineage as well as the titles to enhance his legacy. Hiding out in the WBC and under lineage is not the case. And then you keep bringing up this false narrative
Hold on.
about
You addressed it. You addressed it. You addressed it.
bringing up this false
You
narrative,
addressed it. Hold on. You
Wait,
addressed it.
no, Low, hold on. Let me finish. Go ahead, Zone. Go ahead.
this false narrative about lineage. You're lying. The definition is the man who beat the man, but is also universally acclaimed by the public. So really, the lineage can be switched. To be honest with you, it's not a lifetime achievement award. So when people deem Andre Ward as the man, the people spoke.
So, quick question: who's the heavyweight lineal champion right now?
Dude, there's no crown lineal champion right now.
All right, right now. Well, you're facing that to do your argument. I agree with you. There's not one at heavyweight. You had no. Hold on. I'm not gonna talk over you. I'm winding down for bed. I'm gonna let you do all the screaming.
We're not finna play that game, homeboy. You finna
Mm,
come with your knowledge tonight. You're
No,
not finna play to try
no,
to make it like making some up for the sake of an argument. No, I know my shit. I'm
no.
saying it because I know my shit.
Zone. Hold on. I'm not gonna scream with you tonight. I'm winding down for bed. If we can debate like gentlemen, I'm not gonna scream with you tonight, man. Not gonna.
What I'm you. What I'm asking you, I'm gonna listen to you like a man, and you not finna play the game where you gonna say when I
No,
answer.
you don't want see you don't like I'm not gonna scream with you tonight, man. I'm telling you, I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm
Yeah,
not
man.
gonna do it. I'm winding down for bed. I did this out of I did this out of just for the people that wanted it, but we're not about to do that.
Excuses. Go
All
ahead.
right, no. Now, you can do this public perception all you want. Public perception does not involve putting hands on the former lineal champion. You saw what happened. Now, like I said, for the best competition in boxing, it's best to have one door that we all go through. When there is lineage in the division, you go through that one door. You don't knock at door 1 through 4. All right. I want to ask you, let's say, can I do 3 questions? Yeah, just you got 4 seconds to answer them. If this is so important to you, you should know it right off the top of your head.
Man, I
Okay.
hope it's relating to Donnie
Yeah.
Stevenson, man.
No. It's related. No, just answer the questions because I'm gonna tie them in to you right now. I'm gonna tie them in to you. And you got 4 seconds to answer. Y'all see my
I,
hand? Hold
I
on,
just want to
hold
make
on.
sure we going off subject because we're not finna play that. We're not finna
No,
do that.
we finna play how much Zone 6 really care. We finna play how much Zone 6 really care, or is he just here for the top? Just here to be here. Hold on, hold
Wait,
on.
wait, zone, zone,
Hold,
zone, zone. Hold on. Zone. Let go ahead. Bullet paste. Go ahead. Answer the question, brother. Go ahead. I mean,
Zone
ask the
6.
question. Ask
Zone
the
6.
question.
Zone
Ask the
6.
question.
Who did Terrence Crawford, the last undisputed champion? Who did he win his first title from at 140?
Man, what they got to do with it, Donnie Stevenson, man?
See the zero people. The man don't
Right.
know. No. Let me ask you another one. Let me ask you another. I asked 3 questions.
Right.
Zone 6. Who did Adonis Stevenson win his title from at 175 pounds?
Man, come on, man. You know that. Come on, you know the answer. That's Chad Dawson, man. Come on,
All
what
right,
are you
well, you
talking
got
about?
that one. You got that one. Now, hold on. The equivalent to what I'm trying to tell you is, no, you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. You want to fight over me. I'm treating you like easy work. You treat me like, oh my God, he finna get me. Hold on, hold on.
Sure.
So what you're doing is you're telling me this undisputed so important to you, this picking up titles and trinkets so important to you, but you couldn't even tell me in less than 4 seconds who Terrence Crawford won his first 140-pound belt from. But when I asked you Adonis Stevenson, you knew because something actually changed hands at that instance right there. Something else was rewritten, not just another trinket was given to another man. That's why I value my lineage. Okay, now if I ask you who he picked up his second belt from, well, his second, well, yeah, it would be his second belt. Who he picked that up from? I bet you would know, don't you? Let me ask you, who
No,
did Terrence Crawford,
I can tell you that.
who did Terrence Crawford pick up his second belt from at 140?
I don't know. You tell us.
Okay, he picked it up. He won a lineal title when he fought Victor Postal. And let me make an admission to you. I have not looked up who he won the title. I know who he is. The guy's been knocked out before he fought Hank Lundy before, I believe, but I can't remember his name. I know who he is. He used to train under Robert Garcia. Let me tell you, you're not at fault because it wasn't important, Zone. No, look, the belts, they're just there from the 70s, the 80s. They're just some sanctioning fees. The number one man, that's who you knock the fuck out. And you don't have to pay nobody to be there. You don't have to go to the bank and say, can I deposit something into their account to be a champion or a title holder? That's how I see boxing, bro. We don't have to agree on this, but I see one man competition, whereas you see, hey, I need 4 doors around the house and I want to play knock on this door, knock on that door when I choose. And let me ask you one more. Who did Bernard Hopkins win his second title from? When his last unified title from at 175. Do you know that man?
Man, come on, man. Are we talking about? Come on, man. He beat Baby
So
Sherman
no.
on.
You just missed the question. Once again, you're missing the question. These guys that unified belts, these guys that hold on, let me finish. These guys that unified belts and did what you like, and you don't even know who they beat to get them. You acting like these belts is an exception to heaven. They ain't nothing that you pay for. Okay, that's all, bruh. Now go ahead and finish some more points.
Yeah, like I told you. We see. Here's the thing. I told you like y'all do all the time. You said a whole bunch of nothing. You want to get on here. Y'all like to ask questions that ain't got nothing to do with the subject at hand. That's why I'm not finna answer that question. I don't care what you think. What I know, I don't know. I'm talking about Adonis Stevenson, and you talking about all these doors being built on houses. Man, look, at the end of the day, Adonis Stevenson don't have one Hall of Famer on his resume. That's what I'm talking about. He's only had one belt out of the four. That's it. He's been knocked out by Darnell Boone. His best victory also belongs to Andre Ward. He hasn't beat Andre Ward. He hasn't beat Kovalev. Like I told you, this is the fourth wave of light heavyweights that don't came through the scene, and he's sitting back idle, inactive. And you can talk about Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, all that shit ain't got nothing to do with this. We're not going to deflect. That's why we stand on Adonis Stevenson. So you could be right, whatever questionnaires you got. You still ain't said not one thing about Adonis Stevenson. You talked about doors, Terrence Crawford, Bernard Hopkins, everything but Adonis Stevenson. Adonis Stevenson didn't fight your boy Bernard Hopkins, since you want to bring him up. He didn't fight Kovalev. He didn't fight Ward. He ain't fought Biffle yet. He still ain't fought Alvarez. No matter what, no matter how many pop quizzes you give, it still don't change the fact that your boy ain't done nothing.
Oh, so you know what? The rest of those people that you named ain't done. They ain't been the number one man, and it's their job to go be it. By all costs, you go be it. Adonis Stevenson went to be it for less than 20%, 25% of the purse. He offered the champion. His promoter said, yo, I believe in my fighter. You tell me when Bivens' promoter said, I believe in my fighter. You tell me when Beterbiev's promoter said, I believe in my fighter. Who's the big money for that? Ain't my fault, man. Look, all I can tell you is I don't stand on Adonis Stevenson. I stand on this man right here. And if I'm a fighter, and I know there's a guy to be the best, and I want to be the best, unless I'm in a faking you and flexing on y'all and doing this public perception to be to make it what it ain't, like a lot of boxers have done today. Andre Ward being the last, and they kind of admitted to it in the Virgil Hunter interview I just saw. Unless I'm on that tip, and I'm going to go for number one, bro. So when you mention all these guys who ain't found their way into the ring with number one, but they did this through this second wave. Well, if you want to be a bunch of second wave ass niggas, well, I'll secondly wave at your ass. I'll put up a 2 and I'll wave at your second ass. How about that? Second, you want to be third wave? Let's go 3 fingers and I'll wave at your ass. Go be the number one man, and I'll discuss you, and not Adonis Stevenson. It's simple, Zone. Go make the offer. Go be the mandatory. Don't take step aside. I praise the people that did get in the ring with Adonis Stevenson, not the guys who said, yo, I can pick up a IBF belt beating a dude that nobody heard of. I can pick up a WBA by getting blessed as the champion. No, that's not how the game is played, bro. Not to me. Simple, man.
Man, okay, you said absolutely nothing yet again, and you think, dude, that's over with for you. You're gonna talk about Adonis Stevenson and stay on subject. Like, ain't nobody moving out their square. You're not gonna deviate from that. Like I said, ain't no Hall of Famers on his resume. You still ain't addressed that. He's only been hiding under one title. You can't explain why Andre Ward came up, got more belts in him, why Kovalev fought around him and threw his ass to get more titles, why Bernard Hopkins was able to unify. Then you talking about the one fight that he got with Chad Dawson.
Excuse me. He said through. He said
Dawson.
through. He said
Fight
through. Hold on. You said through. I'm sorry, you can't use that. You can't use that term.
Talking about second fingers and 3 fingers and what you like to do with your fingers. Man, nobody don't want to hear about that.
You said fought through. You said hold on. You said fought through.
I'm not going to talk until I get done. That's how it's gonna work. You just talk. So be quiet and fall.
But don't lie though. Don't lie. You said they fought through. They didn't fight through. I wish they did though.
Shut up. I can tell you what I'm talking about. Your definition, dude, your definition is whack the fuck out. So what I'm saying is
making a man go for the number one man is whack. Okay. Well, why are we here?
That's why you're doing all that squirming. Like I said, through somebody means that you go and you collect the titles. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily beat the person if the person is not willing to do anything or be around a fight or try to unify the division himself. If he's going to hide under lineage like you like so much, then he's on the island by himself, never to return.
Let's just throw the IBO champions in there too. Let's throw the IBO. Let me make a belt and get $2 off of it. Let's throw them in there. I'm
talking about the full official sanctioning bodies with your facts, not fantasy like you trying to be cute with and be funny with. Everything that you said tonight been jokes, questions, in nothing. You said
And
absolutely nothing.
how many Hall of Fame fighters? You want to talk about Hall of Famers? How many Hall of Famers held one title and said, "I am the lineal"? No, 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 no. You want to talk about Hall of Famers? How many of them? How many of them never carried an IBF, a WBA, and a WBC at the same time? How many of them fought way before they were even brought to existence by way of corruption and petty arguments between this president and that president, or people falling out? Several champions done that. So I don't look at them and beg for them to be around. I've said there's too many around from the days I started watching boxing, and I want them gone. The best way to do that is to establish lineage in the division. It's only a few people that have done it. Now, to negate what you said and make your own argument, slap your own argument in his face, because I brought you up on this already. You were on the panel with Dan the Man, Charlie Brown, I believe both from Truth and Facts, several other people, EJ2, and you stated Jeff Horn was the lineal champion at 147. Now, my issue, if you want to call Jeff Horn that, maybe in some ranking he is, but officially he really is not. He's not. Um, that's not the
Easy,
matter.
man.
That's not the matter. Hold on, that's not the matter. You
So the-
said you said when somebody unifies, your lineage becomes null and void. That's what you just said. They fought through your
correct,
lineage. That's what. Okay,
correct,
so hold on. So why were you the man? You a Keith Thurman fan who has two damn
right,
belts. You know he got two belts. So how is
correct.
Jeff Horn? How is Jeff Horn still
Nigga,
a
I'm saying
lineal champ?
correct. I'm confirming what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
want
So hold on. So you're going to admit. Hold on. So you're going to admit you bodied yourself.
you
Come
slow.
on.
This is what I'm
Come
telling
on.
you.
Why not tell the
Listen,
people? Tell the people. Say I bodied myself.
get
Just
it
let
out.
it go.
Get it out.
Did you body yourself?
This is where you get bodied at because you don't know what the fuck you be talking about. I told you that Jeff Horn is the lineal champion, but I'm also telling you that I understand Adonis Stevenson is the lineal champion. So what are you talking
Well,
about?
why are we here?
I
Why are we
no,
here? Why are we
I
here?
told you he's the lineal champion. I said he's the lineal champion, but didn't you hear what the man said? Should he pursue undisputed or not? But you keep ducking and dodging around that fact and that what he need to do. And I notice you keep talking
No, no,
about all
no,
these.
no, 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 no. You ducking around what you said. You said his lineage was put to the side, but Jeff Horns was not. You
That's
hear
not what I
change in your state. Yes, you did. You said his
said.
lineage has been fought through. His lineage has been all the things you said.
Okay, this is what I'm telling you. You're lying. You know,
No.
I always say Keith Thurman is the best welterweight, period. Go out and talk about this shit. I say he's the best because he's unified, but I understand Jeff Horn is lineal. And that's the same rules that apply to your boy Adonis Stevenson. But that didn't make him the best in the division because unifying and going toward undisputed is better than just being a lineal champion. Everybody know that. So
Okay.
Jeff Horn best. He might be lineal, but Keith Thurman is the best because he got both belts. What are you talking about?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, what are
So,
you talking about?
so let me ask you this, because
What are you talking about?
you creep on. No, you just negated what you just try to play off what you've already said in this discussion about Adonis. You said about Adonis Stevenson, you said Adonis Stevenson's lineage. You said no, 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 no. You said four people done some kind of vacated his lineage, four waves, and that's what you said. You've made you even said it in your video that you had up that you likely going to take down, but that's okay. But that's okay. That's okay.
Correct.
All right, hold on.
Wait, wait,
So,
go ahead, Low. Finish up, man. Go ahead.
something strikes me, eh, and I think a lot of historians gonna have a problem with this when I say it. These four belts makes it harder for the people of today to be greater than guys like Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, Floyd Patterson, undisputed lineal champions. Okay, they had to get one belt. They had to fight one man, right? But today the guys today that are you saying they're so much better that they just Ali need to move aside because our guys now have to fight four different people to say I am the champion of the world? Is that why is that? What is that? Where is this coming? I don't like this. I don't
Well,
like this.
okay, so based on your logic, because there's so many belts, then that applies to Chad Dawson because Chad Dawson was in his era. Now, I find it funny that you want to give Adonis Stevenson so much praise for knocking out Chad Dawson, and you want to give Chad Dawson the credit for being this and that when he's in the era that you're criticizing about holding belts. So if that's the case, then technically Chad Dawson had never established himself technically as the man based on what you're saying.
He beat the #1 man. That's how you establish yourself. He,
Established because
he
once
beat
the
the number.
belts start
No, no,
coming into the fold, then you can never really establish it.
no,
It hasn't been
no,
established since.
no, no, no.
Until
It's been a lineal champion. There's been a lineal champion since way even before Pascal.
how
There's
did okay,
there's lineage there. There's been
but he
lineage since Roy been at one. There's been lineage since Roy been at 175, and he wasn't a lineal champion.
and
So,
how
so
did it get to
look,
Chad
it got to Adonis Stevenson by the lineal champion losing, being defeated, and then going on.
How did he get to Chad Dawson?
Beat Bernard Hopkins, who had beat Pascal. Pascal beat can't get the name out right now, but Pascal. I don't think Dawson and Pascal fought for the vacated, but Pascal took it from somebody else. Go look it up yourself. You got box right. That's not what we discussing, but I know there's a lineal champion in that division, and there's been one. He's one of the only recognized champions in divisions. Okay, you look at a ranking that doesn't put IBF, WBO, WBC, WBO. If you look at a ranking there, the only person that's going, if they don't put them in there, the only person that's going to be labeled champion at 175 is Adonis Stevenson. The rest of that shit is just something you can tie your shoestrings up with, bro. I mean,
The champion retired. Andre Ward retired. What are you talking about? So
yeah,
now
yeah. Hold. Andre Ward was never a lineal champion at 175. Never.
he was the unified champion, superseding lineage. I mean,
No, nobody ever wrote that rule in there for you to nobody ever told Muhammad Ali. Nobody ever told Muhammad Ali that if some clown make up a belt called the T-shirt championship and the draws championship and they fight for those two things, hey Muhammad, you're no longer the world champion of the world after you beat the #1 man. There you have it, man. There you have it.
cool.
There you have it. Yeah, your logic, understand the man that Chad Dawson beat. Okay, excuse me, Chad Dawson was beaten by Stevenson. Dawson beat Dawson beat that guy that you said superseded and unified. If he wanted to be the lineal champion again, how about he man up and fight the guy who beat him again? See, I'm not with this, you play around me, you know what I'm saying? Beat around the bush shit, scared to eat the pussy, so he beat around the bush. I ain't with it, man. You got to go for the goods or you ain't getting no goods. Put it like that, man. I don't know why you scared to phase in competition of one champion. Why are you scared of that? Why is any boxing fan scared of one level of champion? These sanctioning bodies have never in your life knocked on your door. These IBF, WBOs knocked on your door and told you, I'm making boxing great today. Never. They don't do it. Why are you here doing it for them?
Yeah, okay. Like I said, bro, I don't know what the fuck you be talking about. You just went off to something else, and I'm gonna just sun you for that. But like I said, back to the subject at hand, you said absolutely nothing again. You
Mm.
still haven't answered any of the questions.
You don't have
Talking about
questions. You don't have questions. You
his
haven't
resume.
asked for you're saying something about does he need to become undisputed? He's
Wait,
already
no. Let him finish. Go ahead, Zone. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Let him finish, man. Let him finish. Go
already
ahead.
undisputed.
I asked what Hall of Famer is on his resume.
I don't
Who?
care about that. I'm not here for that. I don't care about that. I don't
So it's
care.
a
I don't. I have no care for that.
that you just a
There
fan of
is
a.
no Hall of Famer at 175 today. There is none. Okay. If there is one, it's probably Chad Dawson right now at that weight that's active. Sadly, there is none. So what?
We know as Chad Dawson not a Hall of Famer.
Okay. If he does, and if he doesn't, guess what? I'm not gonna miss his what's that Castonia speech. I'm not gonna miss that. I'm not gonna say, oh my God, I can't believe. I don't care about that, bro.
Title legacy is suspect because he's just hiding under one. His resume is suspect. He don't have no all-time greats or no Hall of Famers on his joint. He's been knocked out by Darnell Boone. His best
What
victory
does that
tag.
have to do with coming undisputed? You are going into you nitpicking Because you know what's that point? What's the point?
If you listen, you're gonna have to stop talking, man. What I'm telling you is you've been talking about a whole bunch of shit that ain't got nothing to do with going to undisputed. You keep talking
I
about
don't I
lineage and
don't I don't know what undisputed is when they sit there, they change the definition and say the fighters from 1922 got it easier than the fighters, or let's just say the fighter from 1950 got it easier than the fighters in 2017 to be undisputed world champion of the world, even though they beat the world champion of the only world champion. It ain't your problem, but you exacerbating the problem. No, no, no. It ain't your problem, but you're exacerbating the problem. Yes, you are. You are. You pushing the
four,
problem to another max where it don't need to be. That's what you're doing.
four belts.
Okay, and let me break this down to you. I'm gonna simply tell you this. I'm gonna simply tell you this. If you would rather see Bivol and Beterbiev fight each other just because it's some straps on the line, then Adonis Stevenson versus Chad Dawson with no straps on the line, then you have at it, bruh. That is all for you. I don't give a fuck if they I don't care if Adonis and Jack drop every piece of damn thing, everything they walk in the ring with except they trunks. I don't care if they drop the title, they trainers and everything else. I'd rather watch them than Bivol and Beterbiev for 10 belts, okay? Even a polo belt. You could throw a Gucci belt in that motherfucker and have a South-minded mentality. You know we love Gucci belts. I don't give a fuck. I'm still watching Jack versus Adonis, okay? Simple as that, bro.
Okay, I don't care what you watching. That has nothing to do with why Adonis is not pursuing undisputed. Right now, this is a mature way to look at things. Anybody that's a mature boxing fan knows that there's four belts. Dude, y'all keep stating the obvious. We know that there's politics. We understand that. You don't have to tell us that over and over. What you're supposed to do if you are a professional boxer and you get paid to do your job, you need to collect all four belts. That's just the bottom line. No matter how you slice it, it may not be, it may be a hard pill for you to swallow as an Adonis Stevenson fan. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. Undisputed is the path, and you know that.
If they want to go undisputed and they want to pay sanctioning fees, it's their motherfucking dollar. It ain't mine. Listen, if they want to go, if they want to go, hold on. If they want to go 2 days undisputed, okay. If they don't want to be, if they want to go 2 days undisputed, guess what, man? It's they path. And it is what it is, man. Let them pay their fees. I don't care about Daryl. I don't care about Daryl people. Hold on. I don't care about Daryl peoples and the IBF getting paid. Daryl people. Oh, whoa, whoa. Daryl people's 175-pound title. The IBF is not held by the lineal champion. Therefore, it can go in the. But Beterbiev can ditch it in the trash tomorrow and say, I rather if I'm Beterbiev, I'll be honest with you. If I'm Beterbiev, I'd rather hold the WBC silver belt that gets me a mandatory two fight the damn
Man,
lineal
all right,
champion.
cool. I got you. So you don't think Adonis Stevenson should pursue undisputed?
I
In
think he
your
should. I think he should pursue Badu Jack. That's who I
man, what
think he should pursue.
dude, I said
I
it's
gave
a
you what I think.
any
I gave you what I think he. I mean, I gave you what I think he should pursue. It's the easiest fight to make.
I'm gonna ask you a question again. Since you want to talk about Terrence Crawford and everything, I'm asking you, do you think Adonis Stevenson should pursue undisputed?
He's already undisputed by the Ali standard, by the Sonny Liston standard, by Floyd Patterson standard. He's already undisputed.
He's
He is.
not in 1961 or 62. He's
I
a
don't give a
champ.
damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what Daryl People's left for him. I don't care about that zone. I'm not
That's
going.
what you
I'm
say.
not going. I'm not accepting those clowns until they treat boxing and
Don't get
until.
that. You don't supersede the sanctioning bodies.
But yeah,
You
yeah, I do.
promoter.
You know why I do. You know why I do. You know why I do. You know why I
What you
do.
say?
You know why
Sanctioning
I
body.
do. You know why I do. You know why I do. You know why I supersede the sanctioning body. Cause I fucking want to. Because I'm knowledgeable enough to. I'm knowledgeable enough to know they fucking wasn't around and they just came in to make money. They ain't nothing but a crooked organization that don't prove how good that nobody is. They don't prove that nobody's good or bad. They don't. Okay, they fighters. Oh no, 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 no. No. Their titles get fought for. Their titles get fought for. Their titles get fought for, and you get scorecards of 120, 108 after you've seen close fights. If you think I'm going to get on my knees and suck them off and make them a part of history in boxing when I talk about it, you think I'm going to get them shot? No, I'm not going to, bro. I'm not going to. There's a champion in the division for a
So
reason.
got you. You talking about sucking people off and all that. I'm trying to stay on subject yet again. You keep talking about sucking people off and
You
fingers
understand
and all that.
what?
But
You learning from me. You learning how I see boxing, and it just is what it is.
you getting work, dude, and you because you not you. It's obvious. So what I'm saying is, okay, cool. Let's take the belts out of that, Mr. Nut. Let's take the belts out of it, man. So I don't know who's the best between him and Kovalev. I don't know who's the best between him and Andre Ward. I don't know who's the best between him and Bottle Jack. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Take all the belts away. I don't know if
Zone,
Adonis Stevenson.
zone. Check any ranking you want. You check any ranking you want from.
Gonna go to
uh,
rankings, bro. We're taking politics out of it. So you want me to go to rankings, but then
No,
when I
no,
say
no,
belt,
no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no, no. That ain't what I'm trying to say. It's just for you. If you just ask Dan and Zone 6 to rank their top 5 light heavyweights, and for some reason I would bet you that all the 3 and 4 belt holders, they're not ranked in 1, 2, 3, and 4 because they're not the more credible fights. They're just holding something, bro. They're just holding a little, a little trinket. That doesn't make you
false.
the man. That does not
False.
make you the
Well,
man.
already had an illustrious career, dude, winning gold before he
Who are you
got up there.
talking about? Who are you talking about? We're not talking about Andre Ward. We're talking about Bivol is not the number 2 light heavyweight in the world for beating Trent Bryhurst.
You brought
Um,
up the fact that there's been several guys that came to the division and superseded him. I'm talking about Andre Ward, and I'm taking the belts out of it. I'm just saying he's had an illustrious career. He already had stopped Chad Dawson. He came up and beat Kovalev twice, who was perceived as a man, taking
good
belts
for
out
him.
of
Good for him. Does Kovalev sound like Stevenson to you? Does Kovalev? I think you. I mean, is there a deficit in your learning? Does Kovalev sound like Stevenson?
it. And I can ask you the same question
No,
because
no, no,
Adonis
no,
Stevenson
no.
ain't beat
Yeah. Kovalev
Ward.
doesn't sound like Stevenson none whatsoever. So you're right. And just like Virgil. So hold on, don't argue what Virgil Hunter said straight, because that's his trainer. I shouldn't have to argue with you if I don't have to argue with the trainer of the man. The man said Virgil Hunter said today, Stevenson the number 1 guy. You can't fight around that. He the guy. That's what not today. He said that November the 17th in a fight hype interview. So if he believes that now, why would he have no choice to believe that when he was still the lineal champion then? Look, it ain't my fault that these guys look, if you want number 2 and number 3 credit, I'm fine with giving you that. Hey, that's all you willing to want to be, then pat on the back. Take your number 2 ass to work. Hey, that was my number in football. Number 2. I like that number, man. It's cool. I just don't need somebody else telling me how to look at boxing when I know how to look at boxing.
No,
Okay?
nobody's trying to tell you. See, this you can have your opinion, dude. We
It's
don't.
not opinion, it's fact. It's not opinion, it's fact.
Nobody cares about you having an opinion because everybody know it's kind of on the slow side.
Okay.
So the thing is, the rest of the boxing world want to see disputed. That's the facts,
Okay.
and they want to see people be more active. Your dude ain't done neither one of them.
You say that.
That's the bottom line.
You say that, but I can recall you say they want undisputed. Hold on. You say they want undisputed, but I can recall people making videos saying we don't even want to see Crawford fight in Dongo. We want him to go to 147. You say that's what they want. At certain times that is what they want, depending on hey, I can't really name the circumstance. Let's say 2 guys take 2 belts from 2 people at the same time. Yeah, why not get it on? That makes sense. If there's no lineal champion, still, if there is one of them has to be the lineal champion more than likely. So somebody needs to be going to get it. And like I said, when there is no lineal champion, the best way to do it, get all 4 belts. When there is no lineal champion, the best way to do it, you don't even know another way to do it. You don't even need all 4 belts. You and another guy can whoop everybody in division. You universally rank 1 and 2, and just like that, y'all get it on. You can have no belt on the line. No belt at all on the line, except for the lineal title. You don't have to pay no sanctioning fee, and the fans gonna know what's up.
Okay, so once again, I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Telling you undisputed. I'm just telling you this undisputed myth that you talking to me about, man. I mean, it's cool if that's what you want to do.
Just heard you. I just heard you for 5 minutes. Only thing I'm telling you is the bottom line is this. What I want to see is undisputed. Adonis Stevenson is on a hot seat. This is his third crop of light heavyweights that he let pass him and collect these belts. And he ain't beat none of them in the process either. Okay?
You know what?
That's
I'll give you one that you should know. Adonis has talked about undisputed before. Talking about he talking about collecting all the belts before. You should have used that against me. He's talked
all
about
right.
doing
Well,
it. He was trying to do you a favor. He was trying to do you a favor and become even more undisputed than Ali was, I guess. And I mean, it's so disrespectful. So disrespectful to me. No, it's so disrespectful to overthrow what they did back then and the right way they did it. But I'm just saying, I guess he was trying to be more undisputed than he already is. You know what I mean? Because he beat the man. Like, look, it's one way
reunion,
to do it. It's
and this
one way
is
to
he
do
got
it.
and fighting in two, and he don't fall in two weight classes, and he's only got one title. And people want, and you wonder why his legacy ain't that high, and why people are critical of Adonis Stevenson. You got knocked out at 168. You didn't win anything at 168. Came up to 170.
Hey, your critique is hey, you can critique what you want. That's a-okay. But one thing you cannot do, you got to take your critique and you got to quit trying to build facts around things
I'm
that
gonna
don't
let you finish.
that don't have no foundation. Like your fact got no foundation when you trying to go into critiquing a knockout at 63. Go ahead, do it,
I'm
huh?
asking you, did he win the title at 168?
No need to do it. He went up to 75. He didn't even get a title shot. He didn't even get a title shot. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. He didn't even, whoa, just like, whoa.
Oh, ain't no
Just
whoa,
like,
whoa. You can't finish.
whoa. He didn't even get a title shot. He didn't even get a title shot at 168. Wasn't no need to get one at 168. He got it at 175 and he
All
earned
right,
it.
all right.
Establish a fact. I'm finna establish a fact. I asked you, did he win the title at 168? You said no.
So
And I
what?
asked you, was he undisputed at 175? You said no. Every time it comes to a fact that you
He
disagree
is.
with,
He is. By
try
the
to
definition of
Wait, low,
undisputed.
low, 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 low. Let Zone's answer. Go ahead, Zone. Go ahead, answer.
you try to act like it doesn't matter and make it personable to you. And then when it's some shit in your history and then start using facts. But the facts stand that your boy hasn't unified.
I
He's
don't
got
have a
knocked
boy.
out.
I don't have a
All
boy.
right.
I have boxing that I want to see done the right way. I've said it several times. I don't give a damn if hold on. I don't give a damn if Adonis Stevenson get knocked out and land inside of my shoe. I'm gonna pick my shoe up and throw it and turn it upside down and empty his ass out, put my shoe on and walk like I was walking before he got knocked out. It's just the
Yeah,
facts.
all right, that's
All I'm doing for you, hold on, all I'm doing for you here is making boxing more competitive because I don't want to really see nobody who's a horrible champion. Ricky Burns was just a Ricky Burns was just a champion the other day.
absolutely lying.
Okay.
No, man, I
Hold
don't.
on. Ricky Burns was a trinket holder the other day. Okay, so you follow that. Zone 6. If zone 6.
You
I'm gonna
keep
ask you zone 6. I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Can I ask you a simple question?
because you ain't gonna keep interrupting me and then keep talking about hold on. You
Interrupt
cannot
yourself.
bring and properly defend Adonis Stevenson. You are simply a fanboy, and it
Mm.
is obvious. And you want some type of medication because you can't even comprehend this question, and then you're lying. I told you that Adonis Stevenson has the linealship, but you can't let a guy come in your house and run through your shit and collect all the belts. But conveniently, because Kovalev got the belts, you don't care about those particular belts. I find that fucking ironic.
What does Kovalev have the belts? You never heard me whine and complain about belts. You never in your life heard me doing it.
I know that because Adonis Stevenson haven't fucking
Yeah.
accomplished
You
unification.
never, you
It
never in your
matters.
life, you never in your life heard me, never in your life heard me whining about belts. You never done it in your life. You can't point, like you can't find that source. You can't do it.
Yeah, you're a fan of Adonis Stevenson, and we gotta wait till he accomplishes something.
I got several. No. I mean, if he puts a cherry on the top for you, I hope you enjoy your Sunday. I don't give a damn. I'm just telling you. In my opinion, look, listen. This all I'm telling you. If Adonis Stevenson has 3 more fights, and those fights are, let's say those fights are Badu Jack. Let's say they have a close fight, they fight another one. Let's say he wins both, loses one, wins the other one. Then he fights the mandatory, okay? Who's a top 3 light heavyweight in some rankings, and you could say he deserves it, okay? If he goes out like that, I'm not tripping. I ain't tripping.
You saying he's undisputed right now in your eyes? That's what you telling everybody.
No, he's undisputed in the way boxing started, in the way boxing still should be.
Asking you
And so
your
yes,
opinion,
in my
man.
eyes, in my eyes,
I'm
yes.
asking
I think yes, in my eyes, you are 100% right. You go beat the Rigondeaux. Hold on, Rigondeaux at 122 is the undisputed champion. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. At 122,
absolutely not. Fuck
at
no.
one,
I
yes, he
asked you a
is.
question.
Yes, he is. I'm
I
gonna
didn't
name.
ask
I'm
you
gonna
for
name you every
I'm
lineal
not,
champion. Every lineal champion. Now, your way of being this belt head, this guy who likes to buy the chains.
because brother, we're gonna deal with that. We're gonna deal with that. You said that this man on record is undisputed. Body, I'm done. If you
Like I said, go look at how boxing started. Go look at how it started. I'm not here to voice Daryl Peoples and get percentages from them. Okay?
I'm not talking about no dead.
I'm not here
Man, we know
from Gilberto Mendoza. I'm not hold on. I'm not here from Gilberto Mendoza and his thoughts on boxing. If they want to be something, if they want to be whoa. If they want to be recognized, all of those heads of those organizations will come together and put every belt together and make one belt. And then I would then say, there we go. Those people have credibility. Until then, they want a stronghold on boxing, and hey, I'm gonna hold these fighters accountable. It is what it is.
what I'm telling you is how about the fighter just simply fucking fight and
They
get
can, they
all the
can. Oh, they can. Because listen to this. Once again. What I said they can, and listen to this. Badu Jack, without a championship title. Pascal, when people were saying, please fight Pascal, get the deal, had no title. That had no significance to being undisputed. But that's the fight people wanted. Okay. So what you're saying already by the opponents that they wanted for him, it makes no sense. They still want Kovalev right now without a title. Ain't no undisputed. Ain't no unifying coming from that. Your belts and your possession of these belts, they way off, bro. People don't really give a flying fuck about them. Okay.
out. Cool, understandable. All right,
How
but
many, how
Adonis
many, how
Stevens,
many, how many pay-per-views did Floyd sell? How many pay-per-views did Floyd sell with the WBC and the WBC only for quite some time?
Adonis Stevenson, with or without those belts, ain't going to the Hall of Fame and still ain't worth the fuck and has not fought any Hall of
I
Famers or
don't.
any
Hey,
all
once
time.
again, I don't care if he gets into the Hall of Fame. That is not why I'm here. I don't listen to me. Listen to me. Zone 6. You can't say Hall of Fame no more. I don't care about these dudes in their Hall of Fame speech.
It's other people that care about that, and you ain't the only one listening, man. So sit down
You
and
debating me. You debating me. You debating me.
it's not convenient for your argument, and it's you getting worked. You just said the man
Okay,
is
okay. So you
just
name me the Hall of Fame speech that I've covered on my channel. Zone 6. I can't tell you the Hall of Fame class from last year because I don't give a shit. All right?
man.
All
I'm
right?
talking about being delusional about the man being undisputed. You say
He is. Yo, Ali, listen to me. Ali won one belt. He beat the man that was the man.
you
All
say he
right?
ain't
I
resume,
would do this again with you. Sonny Liston beat the
man.
man that was the man. He was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Okay? You, like I said, IBF, WBO, WBF, all these WWF motherfuckers, all of them.
What's
Yo, you
that?
can pack your bags with that. You can pack your bags with that, man.
What's the WBF? What's that?
I'm just saying, I said WWF. I'm making fun of them. They jokes, okay? All right? They
Yeah,
jokes.
it's not. You still ain't answering the question. You trying to
Well,
be
what,
funny, like
okay, if undisputed is a priority, hold on. If undisputed is a priority, and if they're hold no. If undisputed is a priority for them and for boxing, why have you not asked them to rank other champions in their rankings? Why are they not doing it? Okay, because they don't want it. All right, they don't want undisputed. They don't want to split sanction and fees. They are not. They don't establish anything in boxing except who pays them. That's all they do. So I'm
absolutely.
done with it, man.
That's a lot right there, and that's another body because first of all, there are the fans and there are specific people that want to see undisputed. Okay, and then the sanctioning bodies have already come together that said that if you unify the titles,
Oh, oh,
that's
they,
territories. But
oh,
these
they
fighters,
already came together. They already came together. Yeah.
quiet, man, you have to be quiet and let me finish my shit. That's the bottom line.
Oh my God.
Sanctioning bodies have already stated that they will take unification over number one mandatories. Is the fighters that's ducking and dodging. Adonis Stevens ducking and dodging and hiding out behind whatever the situation he got going on.
I'm not even gonna
Those
address that. I'm not gonna address that, man. Like he's offered every champion that's been a champion except for Andre Ward and told Andre Ward we can get a fight done. So when you say ducking and dodging and hiding, I mean I don't see how you can allow a man to fight around Adonis Stevenson when he has asked for a purse bid for so you would have got your wish right here. All right. You would have got that undisputed Kovalev robbed you of this, not Adonis Stevenson, dog. So I don't know why you are here today fussing with me about the man who beat the only man that was a champion. When Kovalev didn't want to beat the man, the only man that was a champion, not some trinket holder. I don't care if you hold one, two, three, you're a fucking trinket holder. Deal with it. All right? Go for the
Adonis Stevens,
man. That's just what boxing is.
because it's
What'd you say? You
Adonis
call him a
Stevens.
trinket holder. You call
He
him a
didn't.
trinket holder.
He beat Chad Dawson, who already had been
Okay.
beat by.
Okay. All right. And if Andre and you know what? If Andre Ward would have moved up to 175 and did it, we'd be praising him for being the lineal champion. Too bad he didn't do that to avoid you getting this. Hold on. Too bad Andre Ward did not do that to avoid you getting this work that you're getting today. That's all I'm saying. Go blame him. Call Virgin Hunter, get his number. If his wife answer, ask to speak to him. If she say he ain't there, then say, bitch, quit lying. I know he there. And talk to him about that. All right? Because it ain't my problem, man. It ain't my problem.
Yeah, so like I said, that's a complete body because you established nothing for Adonis Stevenson on his behalf except saying that you, because it's your opinion and you think you know boxing, he's undisputed because he has the lineal title from knocking out Chad Dawson, who already had been knocked out by Andre fucking Ward.
Well, hey, bruh, ain't my
Man, get
fault
this
that
guy.
did not. It ain't my fault. Okay, Zone Six, Zone Six. I know you're a Pacquiao. I know you're a Pacquiao fanboy. Hold on, I know you're a Pacquiao fanboy. Was Pacquiao the lineal champion at 140? Zone Six.
Man. Bye.
Was
Next. Easy work.
look at him. He running out. Hold on. Pacquiao fanboy. I recall you saying in your days lying, Denny, Pacquiao was a lineal champion at 140.
Wait,
I
wait, hold
recall
up, hold up, hold up, hold up, y'all. One at a time, one at a time, one at a time.
I recall this man saying Pacquiao was a lineal 140-pound champion.
Okay,
Get it
don't
out 'cause
respond to that.
Yeah.
Was was was
go ahead.
Pacquiao
Wait, hold
was
on, Zone. Go ahead, respond, Zone. Go ahead,
I
respond.
just want to know, was Pacquiao a lineal 140-pound champion? Yes or no? That's all I want to know.
Okay.
Questions. Well, I want to talk about Dunn Stevens. They keep trying to use
Yeah, no,
bogus
no, no.
examples.
You want to debate. You want
Zone,
to put. You
zone.
want to lean.
Hold up. Okay, Zone. I see what you're saying, man. Okay, Zone. Just answer the question, then get back on topic. That's cool. Okay, man. If you can, that's cool. Just do that.
Well, yeah,
All right.
it's a question. We're gonna move on. Go ahead, man.
Was Pacquiao the lineal 140-pound champion when he beat Pacquiao? I mean, when he beat Ricky Hatton.
Of course. Yeah,
Why
well,
does it? Okay. So we're establishing the zone has a little bit of bias here, and he's only arguing for the sake of arguing. Okay, Ricky Hatton had just been knocked out by Floyd Mayweather at 147, not at 140. So I mean, dude, hey, well, what it is what it is, man. If Floyd wanted to be the 140-pound lineal champion, which he never was in his life, he should have went to 140. I'm not going to mess with Manny Pacquiao's lineage because Floyd didn't do something that he maybe should have done. Ain't my fault, man. I don't have to fix shit that they don't fix for themselves.
for you. I want you to try to do that. You was just trying to, you fucked up. You was trying to prove that I had some biases. When Pac beat
Your mic
Ricky
messed up, bro.
Hatton,
Your mic is messed up. It's telling you, Zone, I'm tired of getting this work. I might need to go. That's what your mic is saying.
when Mayweather beat Ricky Hatton, I'm still giving y'all that credit. I'm still giving your boy Adonis Stevenson credit for winning the title. I'm telling you that he got his ass knocked out prior to. It's the same scenario. So that's a body for trying to make up some shit. Ain't nobody.
Look, that has no merit. What it is what it is. You don't. If I'm a fighter, I don't go around in interviews. Why do I have to fight him? He only beat somebody that got knocked out. I'll never get the championship though, because he only beat some. Hold on. This is how it would sound. Would you support this boxer if he did an interview with Fight Hype or with Dan the Man or with Charlie Brown or with myself or with you? Would you support this boxer that said, "No, I'm not a real champion, and I'm never going to be one because I'm not going to fight Adonis Stevenson because his title came because he beat somebody that was the champion, but that champion was." No, you would not support that guy. You would tell him if you don't like it, just like you don't like it right now, you need to tell them grown ass men to put their gloves and their trunks on and lace their boots to go knock Adonis Stevenson into next week or back to his prison sentence, back to his pimping days, and then officially back to Haiti. Because I wouldn't give a flying fuck. But until you are going to do that, me and you just we just at odds, bro. That's for anybody. That ain't just for Adonis Stevenson. That's for anybody on top of their division. All right. Anybody, the man in their division earned their spot. If you don't want to take it, they can be it for 10 years. They can be it for 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. Easy work, man. Like I said before, there's these, and y'all keep saying answer questions. Listen,
You ask a question.
you gotta be able to establish point. That Pacquiao and Ricky Hatton went there for no reason because this guy deployed smoke screen.
Nah.
This dude get a pass.
No, I think you just got in something you weren't ready for, man. And at this point, you know it in your heart, but
You've been talking about fingers and sucking and you ain't said
been establishing you to you let these dudes be men, bro. You can't, you don't gotta be the. I mean, I never argue for a man. I'm not gonna argue for just some man, bro. He's a man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell him to be a man. I'm gonna tell him to be a
like
man.
you like Adonis Stevenson and your standard is different. That's cool, but be
No,
honest about it.
okay. So do I like Guillermo Rigondeaux? And I just said the same thing goes for him. Do I like Guillermo Rigondeaux? Do I like Guillermo Rigondeaux? Yes or no?
If you got hands, then collecting the belts ain't nothing, brother. It ain't nothing. It's not nothing hard to do. You making it into like it's this tall fucking task because
I just said it's a task that's unnecessary. I said it's a task that's unnecessary. I didn't say it's a tall task. I never said he doesn't have to do it. I don't even know why I'm here.
it's necessary for the extraordinary and the ones who want to be that. If they don't, and you cool with Don Stevenson, because he's not a Hall of Famer, he's not an all-time great. So
Never
with
called
that,
him one.
that's cool, and you just like to see him fight because you like his left hand, you like the way he look, you like some weird shit. Say that so we can understand. But for me, I need to see the guy put hands on people in the ring, not in fucking theory, not off your page, not off rankings and all that politics that you talked about earlier. I need to see him put
You
hands.
saw him put hand. You saw him put hands on the number one man. Let's just run it down. Let's run it down. He's put hands on the number one man. He's put hands on a top 5 man. He's put hands on another top 5 man, another top 10 man, and 2 more top 10 mans and a former champion after that. He knocked out each one of them except for only one. No, I take that back. He knocked out each one of them except for 2. Okay, so he's put several hands on people. Okay, he's been a champion for 3 years. All right, Virgil Hunter, the enemy or whatever you like to call him today, will say in that interview said you can't knock Adonis Stevenson resume. His resume was better than Kovalev's before he fought Andre Ward, and that's his words. You can go watch the interview yourself. So while you're questioning professionals that know, professionals that understand he's fighting tough opponents, think his resume is better than the guy you're sitting over here talking about, like Kovalev and whoever else. Look, it doesn't matter, man. Those guys those rated guys I named had more balls than Kovalev. Kovalev had 3 belts. Too bad they didn't grow an extra pair of balls for them fucking belts to have balls hanging from so he could use them to get into the damn fight. All right. So your champion, your big time, all these belts, he was ballless. Okay. And that's his problem, Zone. You can't come to me and ask me why hasn't he picked these belts up? Look, the dude that had them didn't want to fight him. Now you're fighting a bunch of prospects if you do fight him, and there's better clout in the division. Look, man, you know it. Badu Jack can be beltless, and he's more clout than all of them. Okay, Kovalev beltless could be more clout. It's just simple, man. Nobody cares about them little fucking titles that they just Andre Ward threw in the trash can and all them clowns scrambled to. Wouldn't it have been nice if all those clowns would have said, man, keep those belts over there. We all gonna go for that one door. And they fought in the rankings until they got to that one door. That would have been a lot of competition. But people like yourself, you don't let that competition come about because you keep talking about these belts. And I mean, I think we ain't gonna establish nothing here. I think my way is better. I think boxing fans understand that having one common goal and that one common goal being one belt and not 4, not 5, because that's what they're gonna do. If you keep on saying 4, they're gonna introduce 5. You keep on saying 5, they're gonna introduce 6. Okay, and it's gonna be fucking pointless. All right, you're gonna have more fucking belts than people got fights on their damn resume. That's the day you'll enjoy boxing, I believe. I won't, man. This pointless. All right, ain't it done?
You done, man?
I'm kind of done with it all, man. Kind of done with it all. I mean, shit. Maybe I can go be the IBO champion, and you say somebody ain't the champion because they ain't beat me. I don't know, man.
How are we going to conclude this then?
Yeah,
That's a good point. So both sides are done here. Everybody's done with their arguments.
No. Well, I'm gonna say
Go ahead, Zoe.
I'll just listen and not reply.
All right.
you done. Is you
No,
'Cause
go ahead. You can have the closing word. You got the opening one. Might as well have the closing one, man.
okay? We'll leave it at that. It's already been established. Go ahead. You right. You established. Yeah, let's move on.
All right, Dan. Dan,
All
how
right.
do we? Yeah.
Well, I did mention that we're not going to be the deciding factors here. We'll let people in the comment section decide who won this argument, won this debate. But I will say this, though. Let me just add my input here. To Lowe's point, though, having one, to answer his initial question that really got to me, how many all-time greats or how many champions have become all-time great Hall of Fame fighters without becoming undisputed? There's thousands of them. You can name Azuma Nelson. You can name, who else? You got Azuma Nelson. You have Felix Trinidad. Ali. Well, Ali was undisputed when he beat Sonny Liston. So he was.
How many titles did he win that night?
There was an alphabet title. The WBC title was the alphabet title that was held on that night.
No. There was no WBC.
There wasn't. No, there wasn't.
Yes, it was. Actually, I could look it up. It was. The WBC title. The WBC title was on the line that night. I'm telling you guys, it was. It was created that night. I can look it up.
It was created, yeah.
Yeah, it was created, but Liston won it. Here's the thing: Liston won it from when he knocked out Floyd Patterson. And then Ali took it from him. Took that WBC title. Also took the lineal and the ring title away as well. So, yeah, it did. It's on record. That's what it was. So that's how Liston became the unofficial. He officially became the first undisputed champion of the world, and then Ali became the second undisputed champion of the world in history after that. So
I don't.
But there was only one belt. That's
There
Yeah,
this
yeah.
the point.
wasn't a
And
WBC, man. There wasn't no
yeah, there
WBC on the
wasn't no
line for that
WBC.
fight, man. It wasn't.
No,
Well,
no,
unless the records got it
no.
wrong, because I'm looking at the record books right here. The WBC title was on the line.
Well, the ring mag. Put it this way: the ring mag
They
gave it
may have
fight
wrote
of the year.
themselves into that mess.
Well, what it is, I think this is the point I was trying to make as well. Is that like there was a lineal, the lineal championship was on the line.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah, definitely.
According to the Ring magazine. So,
Mm.
that the point Lowe was making kind of is right in a way. If we're gonna hold Ali to those standards for that time, then it has to be down the line. We can't just decide, oh, because that guy had 3 belts, the WBO, the IBO, and this and the IBF, that he supersedes the guy that is the lineal champ.
Right.
And
Well,
I think
yeah.
in this particular argument regarding Stevenson, as you kind of have to look at it. He's got the WBC belt, and he had the ring. He doesn't have it now, but he did at the time that I think these guys are both making their point about. He had the ring mag belt. He was the ring mag champ.
Right. Well, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. But to his point too, I was going to say though, there has been thousands of great fighters who never became undisputed champions, and they all became Hall of Famers, all-time greats. I'll give you Azuma Nelson for example. When Azuma Nelson, after his loss to Salvador Sanchez, he fought like 5 more opponents before he got a world title shot against Wilfredo Gomez. After that fight, Azuma Nelson kept fighting top 10 opponents like Jim McDonald. Jim McDonald, and then you had Gennaro Hernandez at this later stage of his career, Mario Martinez a few times.
My point was
Wait, hold
not.
on.
My point. You're misusing my point.
No, I'm not.
I was not talking modern fighters. I was talking people that won lineal titles with one belt. That's what I'm talking about before these belts was even created.
Well, I understand that.
That's right.
I understand that. Well, my point is that's a good point that you brought up. But at the same time, what Zone was bringing up is that the fact that Azuma Nelson had built a great career because he was consistently fighting top 10 opponents. So he didn't need to pretty much essentially he didn't need to chase undisputed to prove how great he was. At this point, Adonis Stevenson still have something that he has to prove at this point. He got that win over Jad Dawson. Okay, great. But he hasn't really put in the work. And that's what Zone is saying. At this point of his career, he's going to have to.
My point is it's not his work to put in. You're the number 2 man. You now go put in the work. He's putting his work. Well, you go take that work from him. That's not my situation.
I understand that. Hold up, bro. What Zone is saying at this stage of his career, he's going to have to pursue undisputed to kind of wipe out the obscurity that he fought over the last several years.
That's for you. That's why he argued his point. But my point is this: you will not change the fact that there was a number. The whole time these light heavyweights are active, none of them have ever been number 1. And there's one man sitting on the throne saying, "I'm number 1 until you knock me off." He doesn't have to put in the work. He can look on you and laugh at you.
That's right.
He's tried to do that already, and they failed to do it. The number 2 guy failed to fight him. The number 3 guy failed to fight him. So
that's the point I was going to make.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But
so it's not my issue. It's not his job. Look, I would love it. I would love it for him to be able to pick and choose, because he showed me he picks the right guys that he wants to fight, regardless if the fight happened or not. He's negotiated with these names: Pascal, Dawson, Froch. He's negotiated with some great names. If they decide not to take the fight, then I can't do anything but let him sit on his throne that he earned.
I understand that, but that doesn't make you a great fighter, bro.
I never said it did. I never said it did.
That's what you're trying to do, because this is the only thing you have to defend him.
What he's done in the ring makes him a great fighter.
Well, he doesn't have to. Well, hold on, Charlie. Hold on, man. But the fact is that he has not have enough work on his resume to show forth at this point. The fact is, and what Zone's point is, that you can go ahead and refer to the negotiations, the fights that he tried to make happen. They didn't happen. Okay, so be it. But the fact is that it's not on his resume. You cannot give him credit for it.
Okay, let me ask you.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No, I'm gonna ask you if this is on his resume. No, you're nitpicking his resume. You're nitpicking his resume. You're nitpicking his resume, but you're wrong. Let me prove you how you're wrong.
No, bro. I gave you opportunity to talk. Let me speak.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
No. Let me speak.
You're wrong.
No, at the end of the day, Yeah, hold
6
on,
top
Zone.
10
No, no,
opponents.
no,
6
no, no,
top
no,
10
Zone. No,
opponents.
no,
9
no, no.
defenses.
No, Zone.
9.
No, listen to
Listen
me.
to 'em.
Listen to me. At the end of the
9 defenses.
day,
You name me
at the,
another
no,
fighter. You
no, no,
name me another fighter active today. You name
no.
me another fighter active today, or you cannot say what you are trying to say because you're lying. You name me. You name me more than 5 fighters active today that have over. I think the man has 9 title defenses.
Actually, he
He
has
has.
8.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
He
whoa.
has 8.
Okay,
But the
okay.
question,
Nine,
but the
whoa,
question
whoa,
is,
whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa,
no, no, no,
whoa,
hold
whoa,
up, hold
whoa.
up.
That
No, no, no.
wasn't
Let
it.
me finish. You
You have
interrupted
8.
me.
You
You
name
inter-
these fighters, and then
All
your
right.
point has validation. You name me. You name
No,
me. You
you're not
name me
gonna do
5
that,
fighters
bro. The
exactly
debate
because you
is
can't
over.
do it.
No, no, no. First
Because
of
you
all, the
can't do it.
debate.
You're
No,
trying to
no.
school somebody you can't school. That's
Well, I
what you're
got
trying to
to
do.
hold up, bro.
You're
Hold up.
trying
Let
to
me.
school
No, you're
somebody
not
you
letting
can't
me. None.
school.
I am. No, you got to listen to this. At the
Name
end
me a
of the
guy
day.
with
No, no, no.
6. You name me a guy with 8
Ah,
defenses and 6
Bryce,
top
hold up.
10 wins.
So,
You name
bro,
me
bro.
5 other guys.
Listen, listen, listen. At
You
the end of
can't
the
do it.
day, I will answer your question, but I got to finish my point before you it cut me off. At the end of the day, what matters is what's on his resume. That's what matters the most. You cannot continue to say that, well, this fight didn't happen because this, that, and the third. No one fighter gets their career evaluated based off that, bruh. What their fighters' careers get based off what they put on their resume, what names they have. Like it or
Mhm.
not, they got to get the names, bruh. You
Mhm.
got to get the
Yeah,
6
names.
top.
yeah,
All
yeah.
You
right,
got to
all
get
right.
the
6
names.
top.
Well, no, no,
Now,
no,
now
no, no,
that's
no,
I
no, no,
this.
no, 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 no. Hold on,
listen.
hold on, Charlie. Hold on, Charlie. 1 second. You either
Mhm.
got to get the names. Sometimes, if you're in a situation like Vladimir Klitschko, there aren't many big names in your division. What's the next
Mhm.
step? You got to fight what's available. All the best contenders that are available, and that's what he did. Just like what
Can
Rocky Marciano did. So
can
at
I
the
just
same
ask
time,
you a question though? Like,
go
okay,
ahead.
you just made the point about Klitschko, right? He
Yeah.
fought Jose Revolta. Yeah,
Right.
he did, right? Now, come on, he fought him not not too long ago. Jose Revolta was knocked out by Tyson in the 80s. Okay,
I
so
yeah.
he was not a top 10 guy at all, right?
Absolutely
Yeah, I
not.
don't know how he got there, right? So my point is, I
Go
think
ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What Lois saying is, and I this is where I have to agree with him here because he's fought. You can only fight who's put in front of you, right? That's true of every boxer,
It's false.
every single boxer. You can only fight who's put in
Oh,
front of you and who you can negotiate with. If the number one guy or the so-called legend retires without making that big fight, then that's it. You know what I mean? Boxing, it moves on. You
Well,
know, it's like water. It
I
just keeps
Hold
flowing.
on. Let
I
me ask that
definitely agree
question.
with you.
Let
No, no,
me
I
ask
definitely
that
agree.
question.
No, no, hold
Let
up.
me
No,
ask
no,
you the question I
let me
was trying to
respond to.
ask you.
No, no, let me respond. Let me
You already
respond to
said
Charlie.
it. He's
No, let me
responding to you. He responded to you. He
let
was
me respond
responding
to
to you.
Charlie. No, no, let me respond to Charlie. Then you answer your question. Let me
it's
respond to
because
that. Charlie. Oh, go ahead, son. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
what you were saying something about the belts and availabilities. Look, brother, you are a professional. Okay,
Mhm.
that's the you can make excuses all you want to. You can give them ins and outs. It's your responsibility to get to the top by any means necessary. Okay, these guys are not having to fight. It's because of petty shit. They're not negotiating. They're too prideful. They're too cocky. They're too arrogant, and they're sitting on shit like Adonis Stevenson having lineal titles. That's what the problem is. So people are telling Adonis
But you're
Stevenson,
sitting on belt holders having belts. That's what you're doing. So
Mhm.
man,
why are you any better? I gotta go, man.
let me explain something to you, man. You're gonna have to learn to be quiet and shut the hell up because you do too much interrupting.
You gonna have to learn how not to be easy work, and then I may be able to do that.
Hey,
You
hey,
sitting
hey,
on
come on,
people.
y'all. Come on, come on,
You
come on.
sitting on
Low,
people
low,
holding
low, low.
belts.
Let him
You sitting
finish.
on people holding belts, bruh, but you can't sit on a man beating the number 1 guy. But you sitting on belt holders that beat the number 26 guy. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. I'm going. This shit crazy, man. I'm going to sleep with my bitch, my
Dude,
woman,
let
bro.
him
You
talk, bro.
crazy.
Let him talk. Let him talk. Go ahead, Zone.
He always doing that shit, man. Y'all need to start checking that motherfucker. He will interrupt the fuck out of you and keep asking you all these stupid questions, never proving his point. The whole time, and Charlie, you saving him, making excuses, talking about what he was trying. He didn't say that shit that you said. He didn't say that. You're let that man be slow. The point is, y'all keep instigating and making this dude seem like he's not that knowledgeable.
No,
He's a but
no.
done
You
ain't
letting
nothing.
people sit on belts. That's what you have been arguing this whole time. You letting individuals sit on. I'm the IBF.
You know, like I know, dude, you gotta get all 4 belts, man. That's just the way.
Man, Name me any other name me 5 other champions. Somebody want to do it for me. Somebody want to name me 5 other champions.
You better realize I don't like it either, dude.
Name me 5 other champions. Name me 5 other champions. Name me 5 other champions
Well,
that have 8 defenses and they have 6 top 10 opponents on their resume. Name me 5 other ones, and then you
no,
can
don't
start talking.
distort
Then you
that.
can
It's
start.
four. It's
No, no, no,
four,
no,
bro.
no. I
It's
know,
four.
no. See, hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan. I
It's
showed you visual proof. I showed you visual proof of the only ranking that they stay rankings, and you then rank somebody else based on their rankings. It's 6, and you know it. I showed you
okay. You know
visual
what?
proof.
Wait, hold up. If
All
you're
right,
gonna go there, hold up. If
see,
you're gonna
well,
go
you
there, if
ain't
you
me
wanna go
more.
there, wait, hold up. If you're gonna go there with the TRB rankings, then
Then
Johan de Pop, wait, hold up. Johan de Hoppus was rated top 10 heavyweight by them.
after
So are
he
you gonna
fought
wait, hold
Wilder.
up? No, no.
After he
Are you
fought
gonna give
Wilder.
Wilder credit for that win for
After
fighting the guy who was top 10? No, no, no.
after he fought Wilder.
Are you gonna give Wilder
Was he
credit for that
top?
win?
Was he top 10
No,
when Wilder
answer
was
the
champ?
question. Are you
Was
gonna give Wilder credit for that win?
No,
Are
I'm
you?
not, because he fought him when he was when he fought
No
him when he was
consistency.
ranked. He fought
No
him when he was
consistency,
not
bro.
ranked in the,
Doesn't
Dan,
matter.
yes or no? Yeah, yes it does.
Adonis fought for
I'm
far the
not
first fight he
using
wasn't ranked.
anybody. I'm not
Okay,
using
wait, hold up.
anybody. I'm
Hold
not
up.
using anybody.
Hold up. I gotta mute you. Hold up, man, bro. Hold up. Look, hold up.
When the shoes on the other fight, he
Fonfara
a
was a
lie.
top 5 light heavyweight when
No,
he
but
fought
Far was
Adonis.
not ranked when Stevenson fought him the
You a
first time,
mother,
bro.
bruh,
No,
you
he
are a
wasn't.
liar and a
He was
half. Go
not.
check
No,
yourself. You are
He
a
was not
liar.
ranked in the top 10,
You
bro.
are
You're
a
lying.
liar.
You know he
You are
was
a
not.
liar. Yes, he
No.
was.
When he first fought Stevenson the first time, was he ranked
Former
in the top 10?
champion. He had beat
No.
he had beat former champions. He
He
had
was
beat a
ranked in the top
former.
10. He
Yes,
was
he
ranked in,
was.
by
Yes,
who?
he was.
Who by who?
He was ranked. He
Clark.
was ranked at the same TBR. He was ranked by. Go look at his box. Go look at his box rec. Go look at
He
his box rec as
before
well. Go
the
look at
first
it.
Stevenson fight. He was ranked in the top 10 in the first Stevenson fight
Go
by then.
look at it. Go look at
What
it. Yes, he was.
site you going by? Let's establish that first. What you
The
talking
only
about? What,
look, I can tell you. Then he was ranked in top 10 by the Ring magazine. He would hold on. Listen. He was ranked in top
By the
10 by Ring, and
WBC.
you can backdate him today that he was ranked in the top. The only rating you can backdate TBRB. They ranked him in his top 10. You can go backdate it today. I'm just telling you the truth. He was rated top 10, period. He had beat former champions before that fight. He had beat Carpensy before that fight. Who else did he had beat
Carpenter
Glenn
was not
Johnson.
a champion.
He
What are you
had
talking
no, I
about?
didn't say that. I didn't say he was. I said he had beat Carpensy. I said a former champion in Carpensy, and he had also beat the Road Warrior Glenn Johnson at 175. He was rated in the top 10. He has fought 6 top 10 opponents, and that's something you're gonna have to deal with. Why now y'all want to nitpick the other two? That just is what it is. Have fun. But
Well,
understand,
Farr was not a top 10
understand,
fighter. I don't want to
understand.
hear that. He was not a
Okay.
top 10 fighter when he fought
Look,
against
this is
Stevenson the first time.
established. This is
Don't do
established.
that. Don't do that. If you're gonna use that ranking, you got to give Wilder credit for that Duhopper's win, man.
I don't
Yes,
have to give
Duhopper, you
no, no, no,
got to
no, no,
give
no.
him credit for
Did he
that win.
fight? Well, let me ask you a question.
No, no, I know. Wait,
You
hold up.
going to
I'll
ask?
answer it for you before you ask
No,
that
no, no.
question.
Let me ask
Was
you the
Dan
question so the
no, no,
fans
no,
can
no,
hear
no,
it.
no, 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 hold
All
up.
right, look at
No,
him.
no,
Look
no,
at
no,
him. He
hold
don't
up.
want to.
Yes,
Okay,
answer the fight, but hold up. No,
Box
no, no,
Rec
no,
has
no, no, no,
Adonis
no, no.
Stevenson.
No,
Box
no,
Rec
hold
has
up.
Adonis
Here we
Stevenson.
go. All right,
Box
no, you
Rec.
got to
No, no,
interrupt.
no, no,
Stop
no, no,
interrupting.
no.
Stop
No, we
interrupting,
go.
though. Stop
Look
interrupting
at him.
me. Oh, no, 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 stop
Look at
interrupting.
him. You
No,
interrupted me.
no, I
You
didn't interrupt you.
interrupted me.
Hold up, hold up. Let me answer your question. I know what you're gonna
Fonfara
ask.
was ranked number
No,
10 light
no.
heavyweight. Dan is right here in a fucking sentence. Stevenson was entered as the light heavyweight champion according to the Ring magazine. Fonfara was ranked as the number 10 light heavyweight contender according to the same publication. Can we move the fuck on?
What
All
year?
right.
2014?
The year
24?
they fought, the day they fought, the day they
What
Yeah,
year?
fought, the first.
let's move on from that, man.
I gotta go,
Let's
man. I
close
gotta
it.
go. Look, Dan wanted me to take a L here so bad. He just took one for his damn self, and I
Nah, you
gotta
took the
go,
L for
man.
yourself because
My
you can't even
lady,
no. You
my
can't even
lady,
answer the
bring.
question about Wilder do Hoppers. You won't even give Wilder
Okay,
credit for that win. He was
well
rated
let's
top 10
discuss it.
heavyweight. No,
Let's
no, no, no,
discuss
no.
it.
We're good.
Let's
We're good,
discuss it.
man.
Let's
Let's get out
discuss
of
it.
here.
He wasn't
Huh?
rated the top 10 heavyweight when they fought.
That's
All right,
fine.
and
That's
that's
fine.
not
I
my
said
fault.
that.
That's
I
not my
said that.
fault.
But
That's not my
after that
issue.
fight,
And
Hoppers
I
got a
gotta
win over
go,
Robert
man. I
Land.
gotta
Hold up.
go. Yeah,
Hold up.
man. It was
No,
fun.
no,
It
no,
was
no, no, no,
fun.
no, 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 no. Hold up, hold up. Duhopis had 2 straight wins after that win. He got rated in the top 10. So you got to give Wilder credit for that win.
Oh my
You have
God.
to do it. If that's, I'm going by your criteria, bruh. You're going to have to give him credit for that win.
Yeah.
If you want,
Yeah.
you gotta do that for
Yeah.
Steve. If you're gonna do that for
Yeah.
Stevenson, Carpinci, and
No, I'm
who
not
else?
gonna do that.
And
No, no,
Williams
no.
Jr.,
Dan, you don't
you
understand.
got to
Okay,
do. You got
can
to
I
do.
speak? Can you hush for 30 seconds? Can you
I'm
hush for
hushing.
30?
I'm hushing, brother.
All
I'm
right.
hushing.
Well, my simple point is this: every time Adonis picked an opponent, they were ranked in the top 10. I'm naming. They were ranked in the top 10 that day they fought. I'm not talking about, oh, he fought him a year ago after that, and he had no. That's not what I'm talking about. All right,
Okay.
that doesn't apply here. Wilder picked somebody that he thought was going to be a bum that was not ranked.
Yeah.
Adonis done that. Look, I
He
don't
done
know
that
if
to
you had. I don't.
Carpinci. He done that to Sakatsi. So what's the
Okay.
difference?
All right. Well, yeah, he did. Two of his. You mentioned. You said Carpinci top 10 opponent. Go
He
check
was
it.
not a top
See,
10 opponent, bro.
be
No, he
former
wasn't.
lineal. Be former rank number
Yeah,
10. Rank
undisputed
number
win.
10.
Some people
Rank
thought he
number
lost
10.
that
No,
fight.
it was not disputed. I thought Chad Dawson lost the fight fairly. He injured himself and he got beat. Rank number 10.
All
If
right.
you don't
Let's.
like it, you don't
All
like
right.
it. It just is what it is, man. Like you gotta go show me. I asked you to show me 5 more guys that have that many defenses
I got them
and
right
that
now.
many top 10 opponents. Yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
do,
Wait,
then
and Nayo Inoue, he's one of them. Terrence Crawford's another one. So what else? What else you want to know?
Chance
So
Crawford has okay.
what's
You
Yeah,
more
name
so it's
two.
a
important?
Nayo
You name
Inoue.
you
What's
name
more
two rank.
important, lineal or undisputed? This is
Ro-
what the point that we have to. This is one
no,
of the points that we
Roman
have to get
Gonzalez
up.
too. I was going to say that too. Roman
Roman
Gonzalez too.
Gonzalez is not a champion. He's not a champion. He's a
It don't matter.
he's a
Doesn't
victim of
matter.
a knockout. That's what he is.
Don't matter. But I was just
Dude,
naming those guys. They,
that's a real question. That's Charlie Brown. That's a real question. I'm going with undisputed.
yeah, I'm going. Well, go ahead and answer that question again, Charlie Brown. Can you say that question again, man?
Yeah. What's more important, undisputed or lineal?
To
And
me,
by,
it's
by
under.
lineal we mean the standout guy in the division, basically the ring mag champ.
Well, to me, it's somewhat subjective, but
Unfortunately,
yeah, it is somewhat objective. Yeah, yeah, you and I agree on that. But to me, from one point and from one standpoint, I say undisputed because I have to use history as my precursor, right? We all know what happened. We all know in the '80s what Mike Tyson did, right? When he
yeah.
cleaned out the heavyweight division, when he picked up all 3 belts. However, he was not the lineal champion. The guy who they perceived as the heavyweight was Michael Spinks. Spinks got ridiculed
Yeah,
over that time as run as heavyweight champ because he didn't fight the other top guys. He fought over the hill later on. He
yeah.
fought a totally shot Jerry Cooney and then an Eastern European heavyweight too. So a lot of people felt that Spinks was just being what of an imposter. As
But he
though he
was, but he was the lineal champ though,
yeah, he was a lineal champion, but people still wanted to see that fight, but they didn't
and
want
that,
to really give him that
And they
recognition.
and they
So
got it. And they got
and
it.
and
They got
and
the
and
fight.
let's be real, that
mm,
was Tyson's biggest payday up until that date, wasn't it?
yes, it was. He got 22 million plus back in for that fight.
Right.
It
So
Spinks did too.
so the lineal is more important than, isn't it?
To
Nope.
some degree, not really. I mean, if you think about it, Michael Spinks was already a name. He already established himself with or without the lineal title. So he established himself before the Dwight Muhammad Kawi fight at light
Yeah, because
heavyweight before he
Well,
got
that's
that
true.
before he got it.
But
if you
but you
want to do
see, like with
history, you got to
Floyd,
go deeper in history. There wasn't but one belt. There was one belt. You want to do history where you can go deeper, where one belt got you the championship of the world, and nobody could walk around saying, I'm champion too, based on the work that you did and they did not do. Okay? You beat the number one guy, you the man. It ain't got to be 4 number one guys. It ain't gonna be it. All right. So it's more important to go and rack up beating the number 7 guy, the number 8 guy, the number 9 guy, because you can do that and get 3 belts. Unfortunately, today you can do that, have 3 belts. Say I ain't gonna fight the lineal champion because I got 3 titles and he don't. All he did was beat the number 1 man while you beat the B team. Nah, bro, don't work like that for me. But that's my opinion. Hey, I gotta go. It was fun here. Low
Hey,
plays out, man.
all right, take care, brother. It was fun.
take care, G.
Yeah,
Right.
man. Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah, we'll have to, yeah, because that's for me. That's what I'm baffled. I'm still in 2 minds. Lineal
Yeah,
versus
I see what you're
undisputed.
saying, man.
Figure
But
out.
like I said, go ahead,
Figure
brother.
out.
John. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out this, man. Okay,
Mhm.
it's a level of structure and discipline. Okay, we know the lineal is this mostly the guy who's popular, but once a guy start gaining momentum by collecting,
Yeah,
you understand
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? he starts to supersede. Make it personal. Charlie Brown is nowhere in the fuck that if you was a professional boxer,
Yeah.
and Danny Man was just hiding out under the lineage, right? An imaginary title for real. And
That's
you put
right.
in work. Think about it that way. You will be like, no, I'm the fucking champion. I
That's
collected
right.
votes. That's what you're supposed to do. Do I like it? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on now. Let's stop playing games. The
Yeah.
lineage really has a level of hype that comes with it. The man who beats the man. What the fuck does that mean? Like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How
That's
do
true.
we?
That's true.
This is what I don't get with these guys. They keep
Mhm.
saying they don't believe in belts. In the past, it was this and that. Well, what the lineage was broken then from Undisputed. Like I said, how did Chad Dawson establish himself as the man?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. I have to answer that question to that. What happened was that Chad Dawson had fought, him and Pascal fought for the vacant lineal title, but he didn't capture that night. He lost it to Pascal.
Yeah.
That's how Pascal became the lineal champion. And then Bernard Hopkins beat Pascal, and then Chad Dawson beat Bernard Hopkins. That's how he became the lineal champion.
Yeah.
After that,
And then Stevenson.
Stevenson took it then afterwards. So
Yeah.
that's how it worked. Yeah,
Right. But was that established off what? How was that? What I'm asking is, how did they establish that? By doing what? This how you finna get the answer right here. What did they do to establish that?
They won
well,
the ring
well,
mag belt, isn't it? That's what it
well, it
is.
was actually
It's
vacant.
unfortunately that's
was
what it
vacant.
is, Zone. It's that ring, that bloody ring mag belt.
What they
That's
fought? That's the
Well,
answer.
they actually didn't have the ring belt. The ring belt was vacant that night too, along with the lineal title. So I
so
guess
then how did they okay.
yeah. So I think my assumption is the reason how this got established is that Pascal was coming off what 2 title defenses after he won the WBC title.
Yeah.
It was established because they fought. They put in work.
Yeah,
That's why it was established. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's no different from, and look, it's like what these new guys are doing right now at light heavyweight.
right.
Somebody's gonna come out with probably 3 belts again, around or through Adonis Stevenson. Adonis Stevenson have no right to sit on the outskirts and keep claiming lineage. See, when you give lineage power, it gives the single title holder a leg to stand on to not fight anybody because he's saying he's the man for some reason. And that's
But
what we had.
unfortunately, in the terms of with Ward retired.
Right.
Ward could have ended this by fighting Stevenson. You got to be a bit mad at Ward for ducking a little
I
bit.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree with you 100%. I'm not taking away from that because I said undisputed, not unification. But
Yeah, that's
unification
true.
is more prestigious. Man, ain't no way you finna tell me a guy that got 3 belts is not better than a guy who got one in a so-called lineage.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. In Joshua and Wilder's case, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I also brought up Mike Tyson and Michael Spink situation.
Yeah.
Come on, think about it.
Yeah.
That's why I brought that up.
In that case, what happened to the lineal champion? He got smoked because it was a level of hype to it. You see what I'm saying? He got smoked.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, that ends it. So I guess that's it, isn't it? That answers my question. So
yeah, I hear you. But I got a couple more guys coming on here. They might want to say their piece a minute for view.
okay.
All right, Boxing Beats and Rhymes was in the hangout. What's up with Boxing Beats and Rhymes? And D Styles in here too. So they may get on here for a second, y'all. But yeah, man. It was all good points from both across of the aisles, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll reserve my rights, to who won. I'll let the guys in the comment section decide who won this debate. But just want to get my point across. So like I said, I was just saying it from both sides. As Lo has said that, not many champions have became undisputed champs to become all-time great fighters. But in Azuma Nelson's case, which a reason why I brought him up, because Azuma Nelson was already putting it in work while having one belt. You know what I'm saying? So he established himself with just fighting for one belt and having all these mini title defenses, and eventually he became a lineal champion in the later years. So he didn't really have to chase Undisputed to show how great he was. Adonis Stevenson, on the other hand, has not really put in that much work. Yes, he's done some things as great, but there's still more that we haven't seen from him. And this is the reason what Zone is bringing up the Undisputed argument, is that you have nothing, you got the only way you got to really kind of fight off the criticism and the ridicule that you got for the last few years. You're going to have to go for Undisputed. You're going to have to collect all the belts from the other champions to make up all the years you've lost. What I mean by that, all the years of not fighting top competition. So again, we can always go back to the negotiations. We can go back to the champions, people didn't want to fight him, or fight people he didn't want to fight. It could go back. We can go back and forth about this all day and all night. But the fact is, I was trying to tell Low, is that the fighters that he tried to fight, or they were going to fight him, they're not on his resume. They're not on his resume. The fights didn't happen. That's how a fighter's career get looked at, who he fought, what's on paper. And I'm trying to get him to understand that, but I just don't know why he just keeps refusing to listen to me on that. So at the end of the day, and I like Adonis Stevenson. There's no hate about Adonis Stevenson from me, believe it or not. But the fact is, I'm just stating the obvious. It's what you've done on paper. So anyways, what's going on, guys? We've got Box Beats and Rhymes. We've got D-Style in the hangout. What's going on, brothers?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good, man.
Yo, man, I never heard a dude say he's got to go and they still be here 30 minutes later, but that was interesting. I will say, I'm just going to say this, and it's just an observation I made from, look, I have nothing against low plays, and I'm not here to question anybody's boxing knowledge, and that's not even what I'm touching on. But one thing I am going to touch on is he does interrupt a lot, man. That dude interrupts a lot, and he usually interrupts when someone's about to make their point. And usually it's when it's a point that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
He does do that a lot, okay? And then he kind of just takes over, and he does this rerouting thing where he changes the goalposts and the conversation altogether, right? He just loads up a bunch of questions, and then the original point is lost. And I don't know. It's just an observation I made.
Yeah, man, that's what I was saying. That's my point. And when
probably not the only one, but there you go. Anyway, I just want to answer this quick question. So I know one of the questions was, what's quote unquote better, right? Undisputed or lineal? It could, and I know this is going to be
Okay. All right. What's
up,
Beats?
He lost the connection. Okay. What's going on, Beats?
What's up, Derek? What's up, Johnny? What's up, Zone?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Okay. You make a baby, yeah? As a man.
Yeah.
And you're never there for the child. Are you his father? No, you're not. So this lineal argument, right? You can't just say because you beat the guy and beat the... It doesn't really, doesn't really make too much sense. You got to look at it in a wider context. Joe Louis was lineal champion. He held the belt for 12 years. You've got to activate that belt and make it mean something to say you have lineage. Like when Jeffries retired, he let Marvin Hart and Jack Root fight for the title. Now the public didn't like that. He knew that people didn't see them were they lineal champion? Was Marvin Hart the lineal champion? No, because the public didn't accept that. So technically, the Ring magazine, if they was around, they could say yes, that they're the lineal champions, but he wasn't. He weren't. It's total nonsense, right?
Right.
So you got to use common sense. You can't just say because you won the belt there. It doesn't make sense. You can't do that. It doesn't work like that. You've got to look at there's got to be some level of achievement before you put lineal to them. It's like, you see my argument with Terence Crawford, right? I was telling everybody, if you win the Undisputed Crown in 2017 and you're not in pay-per-view, right? When they took the belt from him, nobody made any noise about it. There's got to be some significance to the bout. When you're fighting for the Undisputed Crown, all 4 belts, it's got to mean something. That fight's got to have meaning. The press have got to turn up. People have got to be thinking, what are you talking about? You're in the 10-stone division. You're not like a flyweight where nobody knows about the division.
Yeah.
Right? The bouts have to, that's why when people keep saying, I just want to see, no. The bouts have to mean something. If they don't mean anything, then you can't just throw phony titles in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my input.
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
that kind of answers my question then. So so Undisputed is more important than Lineal.
Undisputed is more important.
Yeah.
Undisputed is
Okay.
Yeah,
All right then.
it's obvious. Like, I don't understand why we keep having this conversation. Lineal is just a tag for one of the title holders. You know, maybe that guy got the title first. Maybe he did beat a guy who has a name. It's more along the lines of popularity, not necessarily achievement.
Yeah.
Lineage doesn't have anything to, like Beat said, that lineage. When you have that lineage, you have to add legacy to that lineage.
That's
You
right.
understand? You can't just sit on a lineage and use it as a bargaining tool.
Right.
That's what
That's-
Adonis Stevenson is doing.
Can I just make a quick double point, Zone, if you don't mind? Shannon Briggs is a lineal champion, but is he a top 20 great heavyweight?
No.
Nope.
No, he's not.
Hell no.
He's
Hell
not.
no.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel Andre Ward down.
D-Star was playing before I stepped in.
Yeah.
I see he's back online. Hey, D-Star, can you say something, man? You still having trouble with your mic, brother?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I don't know. I actually lost internet connection. I don't know. I don't know what happened. What was the last thing I said before I don't know where I was. I was actually talking for another like a good minute before I noticed.
You was cutting down low place, man. You say
yeah, that's what you were. Yeah.
All right. So here's my thing. Here's my opinion on Lineal, on Undisputed. It's really and because we have so many divisions, and because boxing is such a mess, if we're honest, it is. I don't think there's any universal definition for anything. Like one thing I disagree with what Low Place was saying was all the trinkets don't matter. They don't mean shit. Well, that's just because the sanctioning bodies are corrupt, and they are, and just because there's joke of champions out there, and there is, doesn't mean that just by definition, anyone who has a belt isn't anything.
Yeah, that's true.
We have to use a judgment call. We have to be able to look at, okay, who's this guy? Who did he beat for the title? How did he capture that title? How many times has he defended it? Who has he defended the title against? Those things matter. Like, we can't just ignore those things, and so it's a judgment call. Like, as far as which champions matter and which ones don't. And that requires objectivity. We have to be objective as boxing fans in order to do that. We can't just have this universal line of thinking of, okay, all the trinkets don't mean anything. We just can't think that way. And the flip side, we can't think all trinkets mean something either. Right? So it's all a judgment call. As far which is better, Undisputed or Lineal, to me, it's in the definition, right? Undisputed champion literally means that you are the best without dispute. That's what it should mean. Now,
yeah, okay, but D-Star, let me challenge you on that, right? If Undisputed means that you're the best beyond definition, does Terrence Crawford's win against Ndongo mean that he's just that win alone? I'm not saying about the rest of his body of work. Does that win alone mean that he's better than, than Andre Ward beating Kovalev? What victory is most significant? Like, one was for Undisputed, one was for free belt. I'd say that Ward's victory, and he didn't have Undisputed. Like, Ndongo is not, like, he's not even close to pound for pound. But it was for the Undisputed Championship. So it's
see, here's the thing. But the thing about that is he cleaned it out. And the reason it's not significant because he destroyed that division. To beat people into submission, that's Undisputed. And that's what Crawford did. Now, Andre Ward did a great job by beating Kovalev, but there's also Adonis Stevenson. So, like, it's some more work in that division. But Crawford left it to where it was like, we don't even know if Ndongo's worth the fuck now. Because he destroyed the guy in the whole entire division.
Yeah, but he's all right. Okay, he did all that, but he still doesn't have a signature fight on his resume. He doesn't really have a to make an elite dude. He still doesn't have that
because he's destroying people. See, okay, like right now, he coming up to 147. That's a new challenge. So we assume that Earl Spence and Keith Thurman and maybe Jeff Horn should be somewhat a challenge. Crawford destroys all three of those guys. Then we're going to be saying, well, let's see what he does at 154.
Also,
if you were you said, go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was going to say, just some news just came in that he's going to fight the winner of Horn and Cochran for the WBO welterweight title, Terence Crawford. So he's going to be on course. He's going to be on course to becoming.
Yeah, he was made mandatory before that. So yeah.
But it's set in stone now.
Let me just answer the question that Beats directed to me really quick. Okay, so I think that falls under. Well, first, to answer the direct question, I believe the direct question was which victory is more significant. Without question, it's Ward versus Kovalev. But I mean, you're not going to get much of a debate with me there. But that doesn't mean that. I mean, if I look at Crawford at 140 and Ward at 175, Crawford is without question, the man at 140. Although I understand he's going to move up now, but and there's no dispute about that, in my opinion, right? I mean, or push my opinion aside. There's just no dispute about it. Where Ward, there is that Stevenson thing. Well, is he really the man in his division? We don't know, right? So because that fight didn't happen. Now that doesn't mean it doesn't diminish Ward in any way, shape, or form. But I understand the point of this. I will say that Crawford beating Ndongo, even though the accomplishment in itself, I think, is great, collecting all the belts. But that specific victory, I wouldn't say is like the greatest victory in Crawford's career. It's just that one fight in its own, right?
No,
so,
but see, that was the question I was asking. Then does lineal mean is it more important than being undisputed? So if we're saying if we're saying on one hand we're saying, well, getting all 4 belts is more important, but then the quality of the opposition of the belt holder, it's a bit. You see what I mean? This is the thing why I'm sort of in two minds as to which one is more important than the other.
But
because
in the case
of no, go ahead, Fox. Go ahead, Fox.
What I was saying is that, what's up then? What I was saying is that with Crawford, he already established himself as the man when he beat Victor Postol, even before he became undisputed.
Yeah.
Yep, he did.
Yeah, he was the lineal. Yeah, he was the lineal. I don't like to use that word, but he was the lineal champ. The guy that everybody recognizes as number one.
Here's the thing, right? We see what Fox is saying. Basically, after he beat Postol, he could have left the division. Like, you already conquered it, really. Like, getting the other belt, like it would be more interesting to see him fight Spence or Horn or Thurman. It would be more like, once it's done, the division is depleted. If it's depleted, then like, okay, it's nice for the record books he was undisputed and stuff, but he still doesn't have a signature win. He still doesn't have it. Still, like, like, here's the thing, like when Sugar Ray Leonard beat Thomas Hearns, right? Imagine if the WBC tried to do the Lipinets thing, say, oh, well, we're going to take one of your belts. They wouldn't have got away with it. You know why? Because there would have been an outcry in America and around the world, because we saw the premier dude do what he had to do against another premier dude. And like, that's what happens, like if you're fighting somebody, you just try and put undisputed or lineal to it, but it's not really a jacked up fight, then that can happen. No, see, they just took the belt from Terence and nobody even batted an eyelid because they said, well, like, that division's weak. So no one made a big deal about it.
And he was already the man anyway, so even though they stripped him of that belt, he was still the
Yeah,
man. You already gained that
yeah,
from the
that's right.
post-style
Before that,
fight.
yeah, he was the man
Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I got it.
The man.
Yeah.
So it's both of them. But look, both of them have credence. Undisputed and Lineal. They
Yeah,
both have credence.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's the legacy. Always the legacy.
Well,
I want to
just something I wanted to
go
throw in
ahead.
really quick, and
The
this was
resume.
during the debate because I know if I'm not mistaken, the point was made because it was brought up about Lineal is really the way it quote unquote used to be, right? Like when Ali was champion and stuff like that. But in our reality, Undisputed was the way it used to be because there was just one champion, right? So it's
Well,
before all the sanctioning bodies came out.
there
Okay,
was two
so
belts. There was two belts in Ali's time. There was the WBA, and then the WBC came afterwards.
but
And
when
this
was
is
the
the point.
WBC? When did that come out?
No, oh, I mean,
1963.
yeah, something like that.
63 for
Yeah,
WBC.
the
So
WBA
1963.
was
Okay.
before that, the late
62.
50s.
But
Nah,
but even
WBA
before
was
then,
62.
Are you sure? Because
W62.
when I go back at Box Rec, it just says World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm not sure
Yeah,
about that.
because
That's
that
what
was,
it
that
says.
before
was that
then,
was something different. That was
The
something different.
WC.
before
So
then,
the
he had
world,
the NYSEC
Hey, hold on,
title.
everybody. Go ahead, Beats. What you say? Go ahead,
Like the
Beats.
WBC belt came in the 70s. Like he
Hmm.
beat Ernie Terrell for the WBA belt.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know the WBA is
Okay.
the oldest one. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
hold on, what you?
it was the NBA belt before it became WBA, so it's the oldest
Yeah,
section body.
yeah.
But
Uh,
before those titles, he had NYSEC and another title, NYSEC and NBA. That's the WBA still.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
still is the
what a
WBA.
New York State Athletic Commission merged in with the
Exactly.
WBC. That's how the WBC became more prestigious because the NBA turned into the WBA, and then the WBA was established in '62, and then WBC was established in '63.
Hmm.
But the WBC caught more momentum because the New York State Athletic Commission merged. And then you talking about the world title, which was something totally different. It was not a belt. It was just an attachment to your name. Because when you look at the guys who had the world title, go
Zone's got
see
it
if you
exactly
see
right.
photos.
Zone got it exactly right. He's got it exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go
cause
see if
look
you
at. Go ahead, go
go
ahead.
see if you see anybody, see if you see any champion that has world title under their name with a belt on. You can't find a photo. I tried. I was like, damn, what is the world title? You can't get a photo of it because it was a symbolic thing
That's
Right.
right.
until we actually got the belts.
That
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
right.
that's the
Because
thing
if
with Lineal.
you go
Oh, go
further
ahead.
back, like to the early part of the 19th century, like you won't see much fighters with championship belts. Like the
Yeah,
Ring magazine had handed out some of the first championship belts
yeah.
under Queensberry rules. That was with
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Contra Villa. Yeah,
And people mistake that belt as the world belt, but that's just actually the ring belt because there was
Yeah.
that's
no
right.
title. And the first
Right.
one was NBA. And that's, then you know the rest of the history from there.
Okay.
That's the thing with
Like Joe
Lineal,
Lewis,
because
like Joe Lewis belts. What Joe Lewis's belts were the Ring magazine belt, and the other belt he had was what when after he beat the Welsh guy Tommy Farr, they made him a Commonwealth belt. The British Boxing Border Control made him a personal belt, even though he's not eligible to fight for that belt. So that they were his two belts.
Right.
like that's the
You know?
thing with Lineal, because I think Lineal really came about because of the tendency of these organizations to strip a guy out of the blue sometime. Like take Ali for instance. I think they took one of his belts prior to fighting Terrell. Or
right.
you could argue that he was no longer undisputed, but he was clearly the man since he beat Sonny Liston, whether they took his belt or not.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Well,
And
Okay.
only a bad person can say anything different. Only a bad
to
person.
that to your point, Fox, is that Ali was already established himself. He already proved himself against guys like Liston, and then you had then you had Carl Mildenberg after that, and then you had Cleveland Williams and all these other guys. So he didn't really need that belt to prove who he was. Everybody knew how great he was after that Liston fight, in my opinion. So I see where you're coming from on one point right there. So yeah,
Hmm.
the alphabet thing, yeah, you can play with this if you want to, but Yeah, when we have this argument about lineal versus have being a bit older, but it to me, as again goes back to my point, is that what more it goes back to what work you put in before while becoming a champion, who you fought, if you fought the
Yeah.
who's.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
always comes down to the work. Even the work that you got, the work that you put in becoming a lineal champion, the work that you do after. That's why I'm very critical of a guy like Adonis Stevenson and maybe Mayweather in a way, because yeah, Mayweather beat Henaro Hernandez, but apart from Corrales, what about the other guys at 130? Same for
right,
135, lineal at 135, but what about other guys besides Castillo? So
right,
But
so the
Castillo
rating
was the
needs to be
top
good.
guy though. But Castillo was the best. What was the best lightweight though? So who
Yes, he
like
was
Yeah,
the
he
before?
lineal
was.
champion. Before he became
Like
the lineal champion when he beat Castillo.
like who else was there really after he beat Castillo? He rematched Castillo. Like Castillo already had
right.
beat.
I think Casamayor was around.
So, was it Rashad,
Casamayor.
Stevie Johnson, and them
Yes.
guys? He the top dude. That
So
was the
what?
man to beat, really.
Yes. Castillo was the man to be, but the reign that came after is what I have in question. Like,
Well, Freitas from Brazil.
Yep, Freitas and Casamayor.
And Arthur the Gregorian was there too as well. I mean, honestly, I
And,
thought he would have beat Gregorian, but he was there
and
as
you,
well.
and you still had the Spider 4 thing that
I
ended
do
up
agree
coming
that,
back
that
later.
Castillo was the best at that time, though.
yeah, he was the
Yeah, he
man.
was clearly the best. Yeah, it was clearly the best lightweight, man. So saying he did, like, okay, I can say all right, he didn't beat one, but Castillo was the dude. Castillo was the dude, man.
Oh no, I agree. It's just the reign. Like, it goes back to the point I'm trying to make about lineal champ. That even though you become the man, we still need to see you defend the title against worthy contenders consistently.
I think it just comes down to
Here-
objectivity and how you judge a champion. So I think it just comes down to that. It's
But see,
sometimes depends. Who you beat and what do you do after that matters as well.
Yeah, cause even with George Foreman, he beat Michael Moore for the lineal title, but after that, then Shannon Briggs took it from him. Well, got a gift against him. And then Lennox finally took that lineal title by knocking out Briggs.
but see that lineal man. When you look at the history of lineal, to be honest with you, the way it's wrote is that the public they literally used to have a gathering for the champ, which is why they had a parades now, like when they had the big parade for Buster Douglas. What the public really was doing then was presenting the champ with a trophy. Now they do it in the form of like a key to a city parade. And that trophy lineage, but they then turned it into a belt form so that they can wear it versus carrying around a trophy.
Yeah, I think that's where they went off.
Can
Like,
present
it's not
the
really
lineal
something
champion.
physical.
Exactly. See, lineage is really just like, hey, let's say we use Beats. Beats, you are the fucking man. That's the bottom line. Here's your trophy. They just changed the trophy into a belt so you could wear it because it makes more sense to wear the belt. Why would you carry a trophy when you could just wear a belt?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So the
true.
public perception part is really part of like this man who beat the man to be established. But I don't think a man has really been established in too many of these weight classes today.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You see, when Joe Louis retired, the public were not giving it. Ezra Charles won the vacant title legitimately against Jersey Joe Walker, but the public weren't having it. In certain states, they didn't recognize it. Around Europe, they didn't recognize it. So Louis literally had to come out of retirement for him to get that belt, to get
Yeah,
the title as a lineal champion. They
yeah,
would
man.
recognize it.
Right, and Lewis took a beating in that fight against Ezra Charles, man. That was a beating he took.
Yeah, he did.
He took a big
He
beating,
did.
man. But let me go to the comment section, y'all.
He did.
Let me go to the comment section. 68 Dark Rendezvous in the comment section. 68. He says here, if you say that, Zone, then he's talking to you, Zone. about the Don Stevenson thing. He says, look, if you say that zone, then it applies to Don Stevenson too. The only difference is trinkets. Bika is more respected and solid than Dongo, and it's a credible win. Really? 68? You think Sakio Bika is more credible than Julius Ndongo?
Yes. Oh yeah, of course.
I don't
I
know about
actually have to agree.
Of course.
Well, I mean,
Sakio Bika took the fight to Kawasaki. He beat Darrell when he wasn't supposed to beat him. That guy, he gave everyone his toughest fight. He's way better than Dongo.
To correct you, man, he didn't beat Darrell. He drew the first fight and lost the second one. I mean, the fight, you could say that his best win on his record.
He won the first.
No, he lost the first fight. No, I mean, no. He drew the first fight against Anthony Darrell.
He
lost the second one.
He won the contender against what's his name? Not Covington.
Marco Antonio Parabon. That was a pretty good win. He won the vacant title against Parabon. Peter Manfredi. I mean,
he beat Jaden Covington in the contender final.
Yeah, Sam Solomon. That's a good win.
Yeah, he right. Yeah, Bika smoke.
Right.
Yeah, he right.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. I have to concede on that one. All right, good question, 68. Good point.
I was wondering where you were going with that, man. But right.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that for a second. I was like, I don't know. But you guys convinced me. Now, Black Latin Caesars in the chatting room, he said Kovalev is on a losing streak, but yet he's about to hold another belt again, coming off 2 consecutive losses. Now, he wonders if Adonis will fight Kovalev, Barrera, and Badu Jack. Well, to answer that question, he's not fighting Kovalev. Kovalev's team made that clear. They're not going to pursue that fight with Adonis Stevenson, which is sad. Sylvan Barrera, I doubt that would happen because Barrera isn't with the same promoter as Kovalev. Badu Jack, that's supposed to happen, but that fight, but what happens, that fight's getting pushed back to March. So we don't know who Adonis Stevenson is going to fight. So we don't know what's going on with that situation. It's sad, man.
That's the thing with Adonis Stevenson. Like, the guy's just an inactive champion, yo. Like, once a year, again.
Yeah. Right. It's just like I was saying, the low places, like he's got to get busy, man. That's what to Zone's point.
Yeah.
He has no choice at the point to get out of the obscurity state that he's in. He's got to go for the undisputed title. Fight the other champions and get those belts?
Is it safe to say that Low took a now? That was a loss.
Well, I said I won't announce it on the air. I'll let the fans in the comment section decide that, but we can talk about that offline.
Okay. All right.
These guys.
Yeah, I know what D-Style thinks about it, but yeah, I
actually didn't vote on it. I actually said I came in way too late. By the time I came in, it was just a bunch of interrupting, and so I don't really listen to the debate. So.
Right.
It was a good debate, man. It was a good debate overall. It was good, great, strong points, man, for both sides. But like I said, I promised that before we came on, we went on live, that I'll let the commenters decide who won the debate. We can all talk about that later. But let's see what else we got in the comments section.
I will say though, as a recommendation to those places, you don't want to interrupt somebody too much. Because it comes off as filibustering, and that's not a good look when you're debating somebody.
He's down funny.
Well, I mean, look, he's a kook. Sometimes he's a cool guy, but it's just like, low. Let me finish my point, dude. You had like 10 minutes to talk, man. Let me say something.
Well, what happens is when somebody finna get in a situation, they usually start interrupting, hearing it out.
Where he does have a point, though, is Adonis has still got that WBC belt that he won from Chad Wilson.
That's right.
And basically, Kovalev inherited his belts from Bernard Hopkins, who lost to Chad Wilson.
Yeah.
Hopkins never went and beat Chad Dawson to get the belts back. So that is where I guess he has a case that the lineage is that he did beat the man who Hopkins couldn't beat, who Kovalev didn't get the belts from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Here's
that's the
thing.
point.
Chad Dawson
I
was a
was.
dude.
That's the point I was trying to
Dawson was
ask.
lineal.
See, here's my point with Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson was stopped by Andre Ward. I know it was a different division, but it still was the same man. It's not two
Right.
versions of Chad Dawson. It's still Chad Dawson, but on paper,
Well,
he didn't get the credit. He didn't get the accolades, but Ward stopped him before Stevenson did. And that's the
Here's the problem with that zone, yeah? Here's the problem. Is at that time, Ward didn't fight at light heavy. He went back down to super middleweight. So if, like, what you're saying would be, if he had beaten and said, right, I'm moving up to light heavy now, then there'd be more of a case. There'd be a case there that, yeah, Ward is the lineal champion. He did beat the guy. So what if it wasn't at the weight? You know?
right.
yeah,
There'd
would
be
have
more of a
been
case.
champion 2 divisions.
Right. I agree. And I agree. But what I'm saying is I'm taking the weight class out of it in the titles. He simply beat that man still. Like that man, he don't get a pass because he lost at 168. You know what I mean? Now Ward don't get credit for being a lineal champion in another weight class, but he gets full credit for beating a guy that held lineage. If Chad didn't lose it, he still
Okay.
lost.
It's
I
like
see
with
what
Sugar Ray Leonard, the way he won, the way he beat Hearns to the 5 titles. Like, was he really the light heavyweight champion? Because he fought Donnie Lalonde at 168, and there was 2 belts on the line. So, do you give Leonard like, huh?
No, but see, that's a different scenario because accomplishment and the accolade was on the line that shouldn't have been there. Credit for being a light heavyweight lineal. Get credit for beating a guy that held it 175. Does that make sense?
I think I see what you're saying. Like the 168 lineal champ fought the 175 lineal champ.
Exactly. Like it wasn't like Dawson wasn't the light heavyweight lineal champion. Ward did not get awarded it because he didn't do the proper, weight and all that. That's cool. His protocols to everything. But he did beat that man and stop him. That's something to be spoken
I never agreed with Leonard getting the 5 belts before Tommy Hearns. I never did agree with it because he didn't fight at 175 for the belt. So you're actually doing the same thing that a lot of people disagree that Leonard did by winning 2 belts with 1 fight at 168. So.
No.
I will say this, just really quick. I will say this. I don't believe you could lose your linealship outside of your division. You know, just like when Marky lost to Mayweather, he was still the man at 135.
Right.
When he went back down.
Right.
So Patton was still like against the lineal guy at 140 when Mayweather beat him too. So.
Right.
That's it.
I'm not
They
saying
have to lose it in the.
That's almost like saying when Arlie beat Bob Foster. Well, does Arlie take his light heavyweight crown as well?
Nope.
right. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that he was awarded anything. You guys are talking about
I get you.
The trophy. You guys are talking about his lineal, his title, and the accolades that he accomplished. I'm not saying he absorbed that. I'm saying he absorbed the complete physical victory over the man.
Right.
So when Ward beat Dawson, he beat the man Dawson. It didn't have to be that he took his 175-pound title or his linealship. Dawson still lost, but because of technicalities, he was able to maintain some accomplishment by being a 175-pounder.
This actually reminds me when Pavlik and Hopkins fought. Pavlik was lineal, right? But it was at a different weight. So it's not like Hopkins took the title, but it was still a good win for Hopkins at the time.
Yeah, it was still a good win. It was a damn good win because Hopkins winning that fight as an underdog. So you got to give him credit for that win. People thought Patrick was going to blow through him. As a younger, fresher guy who's extremely powerful, who took out Jermaine Taylor twice. So
and then
go ahead.
And then Pavlik lost a lineal when he lost to Sergio Martinez back at 160.
Right, yeah, Pavlik wasn't the same fighter after that loss. But hey, guys, Alexander Mayweather has to take a little exception to that Dongo Sakio Bika comparison. I think he wants to make this wants a clear understanding here. He said I still can't believe you guys are saying Sakio Biko's first fight at 175. Well, other words, so Adonis Stevenson's win against Sakio Bika is better win than Crawford beating Dongo. So basically, is that a more significant win than Terrence Crawford beating Dongo? Adonis Stevenson beating Sakio Bika?
Yep.
It is? Okay.
Okay. Better and significant are, I don't want to play semantics here, but they're two different words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, true. I would say this though. I agree that Sakio Bika is a better fighter. I will give you that. But as far as the significance of the win, I would say the Adongo win was a little bit more
Look,
significant.
I don't want to be the devil's advocate, but
Yeah,
let
that's
me
a
be
better
the devil's
way of
advocate.
Yeah.
Do we really know how good Ndongo is?
Well,
Can we really judge him off of that loss to Crawford?
No, we can't.
I judge him.
Let me answer that. He was
Sure.
put it this way. He was unbeaten before he lost to
Right.
Crawford. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won his first shot at the IBF title. He won against Tryanovsky in the first round knockout, and then his second title he took. He went over to Scotland, and outpointed Ricky Burns in front of his
Right.
home crowd. As far as I'm concerned, me personally, I don't agree with that Beaker statement at all. I think Ndongo's
I agree with
the better boxer, and it was a more significant win.
But the reason why I agree with it is because I also look at Ndongo prior to his fights against those world contenders like Troyanovsky and Burns. Before that, he was mostly a local fighter in Africa.
Yeah. But
Was
that's
getting win over local
but
guys.
that's my point. He's went to 2 Lions dens. Yeah, one in Russia. That's very hard to get a decision, and he didn't
Right.
leave anything to chance. He knocked out the guy in the first round, and then number 2 in Scotland, which we know
Right.
is also very hard to get a decision.
My
And
only
he
thing with the
actually-
dude in Russia is that his name rhymes with Shabransky. That's
Yeah.
Oh well, 68 in the comment section. He's actually kind of he wants to kind of rebuttal that a little bit. He said, well, so if Solo Barrera had beaten Andre Ward, wouldn't that count? I mean, because that was Ward's first fight at 175. Well, 68. All due respect, Sullivan Barrera actually has had success after that Ward loss, and Ward obviously had success after his win at 175 against Sullivan Barrera.
I want to understand. Well, what is the question again?
Well, he's saying that if we're gonna kind of say that the Sakio Bika fight against Adonis Stevenson when Adonis Stevenson beat him at 175 is not that significant, then maybe correctly that means that Sullivan Barrera had beaten Andre Ward wouldn't count either, right? If he had beaten him, because that'd be Ward's fight at 175. So this is kind of a hypothetical thing. That's kind of
I think if you use objectivity, it's of course it would count, but
but it didn't happen. But
yeah, that never. Go ahead.
Oh, but even with the Ndongo win against Ricky Burns, let's remember that this is Ricky Burns is a top contender at the time. I give Ndongo that much credit, but this is also a Ricky Burns who was first exposed by Ray Beltran, got beat by Terrence Crawford. I think Zlatan Kanin, that's how his name pronounced, also beat him.
Yeah.
Prior to Ndongo, so
I'm not big enough.
Solid fighter, but
yeah, but he won it though. This is the point that I'm making. Regardless of any of those points, there he won the fight. You know what I mean? He came over. He came out of his comfort zone to a second time, and he racked up a belt in another country. He did it the first time in Russia.
right.
So I'm not saying he's any world beater or any great, or I'm not saying that we should be rating Ndongo, but I am saying this: he won his titles outright. He won them in 2 different fashions. You know what I mean? And we should give Crawford credit just for making the fight at least and racking up them belts. I do understand where you guys are coming from. The Sakio Bika thing, I don't really agree. I thought Sakio Bika beat Durrell. He was lucky to get a draw. Durrell was, but I thought he actually beat him. Yeah, so did I. But
you know what? Bika gave Ward a pretty tough fight too, actually.
Yeah,
Well, Ward
Even
did
with
won, but it was a
Adonis.
pretty tough
He
fight.
did. He did. He gave a lot of guys tough fights. Joe Kawasaki, tough fight. Peter Manfredi, a tough fight. I mean, he gave a lot of guys tough fights.
But
But
you know what? To Charlie Brown's point, and I'm actually glad this name was brought up. Look, when Ward beat Sullivan Barrera, right? Everybody was criticizing that fight, calling it a joke of a fight. Not very few people are calling Sullivan Barrera a joke, right?
Yeah.
So I think Ndongo is being judged with how Crawford beat him, but in my opinion, Crawford's going to beat a lot of these dudes at 147. You know, so in my opinion, I think he's going to beat him pretty decisively. So I think how Crawford does moving forward and how Ndongo does moving forward, I mean, we'll see. But I'm not going to say either or right now. But I'm not ready to say that, you know, Sako Bika is a better fighter than Ndongo right now.
But another thing about Ndongo is I expected Terence Crawford to knock him out.
yeah,
Like,
I
didn't expect.
didn't expect that to happen. I thought that Terrence Crawford was going to beat him over convincingly, take him to the distance. But
Ah,
I didn't
I
expect that.
actually call it fight. I actually call it that he's going to knock Ndongo because based on the local fight Ndongo had, and then his two whirlwinds, I decided that Ndongo has never faced Paul like that, so I know that Crawford was going to knock him out.
Oh yeah.
Compared to a guy like Baker, I know that Stevenson wasn't going to knock him out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I see what you're saying because Stevenson. I mean, Beacon was more battle tested. He'd been through some wars. He's never been knocked down. So,
If you're saying that, if that's what you're saying, that he was more battle tested, then yeah, it was.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Ndongo still won his titles. You see,
Yeah.
this is what I say to people. Yeah, he's inexperienced at that level, but he still won his titles. You can't dispute either win or say that he had political help or this, that, and the third. He knocked a guy out in Russia, and he outclassed the guy in Scotland. You know what I mean? Both times outside of his local in. So yes, Beaker's more battle tested, but the significant. If you talk about significance,
Yeah,
Ndongo's more significant because he had 2 belts.
yeah, the undisputed thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, this was what I was saying earlier, because that's why I was asking you guys earlier, what's more important? But so we can't say one thing and then jump back and, well, in that case it's this and no. Ndongo's more significant.
Well, you know what? In fairness to myself, I did say at the very beginning, it's a case by case basis. You have to use objectivity. So
Yeah.
it's subjective. You know.
Well, guy, I hear you say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Desal. Go ahead, brother. I know you wanted to finish. Go ahead, man.
No, well, just real quick. So I just think it just depends on, and again, I don't like to be one of those guys that plays with words, but significant and better are 2 different words, right?
Right.
What's the more significant victory, and which is the better victory? And it's, in actuality, those are 2 different questions. You know, it really is. You know, so it's like, to me, Crawford beating Ndongo is a significant victory.
Right.
You know, it's probably very significant just because he collected all the belts. Does that mean that, you know, I don't know, you could just throw me out a fight there, but was it a better victory than some of the other victories that we've seen throughout boxing in this year? Well, not necessarily, right?
Yeah, right.
But in terms of significance, it was a significant victory.
Yeah, that was. So one more question, guys. We're gonna have to wrap this up. This is about the David Haye and the Tony Bellew situation. We all know that David Haye has pulled out of the fight. He cited an injury. Whether we think the injury is real or not, we don't know, because David Haye's has a notorious reputation for doing this. But we do know that he was, severely injured going into his first fight against Tony Bellew. Maybe that has something to do with it. He hasn't quite recovered from it. Who knows? But several fighters have offered to step in to replace David Haye now that he's pulled out against Tony Bellew. We know Dillian White has offered his services. Joseph Parker has offered his services. Yeah, that was expected. And Tyson Fury, which is unexpected, offer his services. So Tony Bellew elected to respond to Tyson Fury for some reason, and this is what Tony Bellew said. He said, "No way, I'm not taking that fight against Tyson Fury." And this is what he said. He said, "Quote that's not a fight that I would entertain whatsoever. I mean, Fury is big, long, very, very clever in the ring. So that's no way I'd be interested in that fight." Well, actually, well, Caldwell, which is what you call Tony Bellew's trainer, had said this. So,
That's right.
well, I mean, what do y'all think about that? I mean, would Tyson Fury beat Tony Bellew at this stage? At this point,
Yeah, like
you think so?
No.
Tony Bellew to me is not a true heavyweight.
No, he's
So I
not.
don't really want to see these fights with Fury, Park, or White going at him. I would rather him just leave the division, to be honest.
Yeah.
My
What do
yeah,
you think, Charlie Brown? What do you think about that?
yeah. I agree with that. I don't want to see that. That's a circus. Tyson Fury is a natural heavyweight, 6'9", coming down
Yeah.
from 25 stone. I don't want to see that. That's just going to be a street ball. But saying that, if Tony Bellew wants to fight in December 17th, they should just announce an actual bum fighter, like an easy knockover. Or I'd like to see him against Dillian White.
Right.
As Dillian White wants to fight. They don't really get on that much. It's business.
Right.
It's a fight that's easy to make, and it would actually possibly have more significance than the fight originally. Because I think a lot of people were looking at Hayes. If Hay would have won, he would have probably gone on to fight or tried to push to fight Joseph Parker, as he had good standing with the WBO beforehand, and he stepped out of the way to allow Hughie Fury into the fold. So he's ruined that now. I think Tony Bellew should leave David Hay, like forget about the rematch in March and all of this, because he's going to waste money again. What if Hay gets injured again? You know what I mean?
Right.
From a financial standpoint, can Eddie Hearn take another blow to the pockets like that? I don't think so. So
No, yeah, that's a good point you bring up, because I'm going to say this may be very drastic for me to say this.
Yeah.
What if Eddie Hearn somehow pulls this this bizarre? Not saying we call it bizarre. Let's just say a very shocking move. Let's say that he asks Anthony Joshua to step in
That's what I was thinking about,
and take the. Yeah, what if he does that? Because that right there will really be a shocker if he does that. I mean, Anthony Joshua really didn't get hurt in his last fight against Charles Tockham, so you guess it's safe to do it. But it'd still be kind of a shocker if you ask me to put him in there against Tony Bellew at this
Bellew
point.
won't take that fight.
Yeah,
Bellew won't take that fight.
If the money is right,
Fury, come on.
I mean, the money is. Well, if the money is right, he probably would take it. Come on, it'd be his biggest payday of his career. I mean, look,
exactly.
Okay, let me ask you a question then, Dan, right? What about Anthony Joshua and Eddie Chambers, December 17th?
I would not mind that one. I wouldn't mind that one.
Chambers hasn't really been relevant for years.
Yeah, I know he hasn't been active for quite some time. I know he took a dive against Gerald Washington in his last fight that I seen him. But other than that, that'd be an interesting fight. But we all know the result. What's going to happen? Chambers is too small. He doesn't have the power to get Joshua respect. So it's going to be it's going to be a walkthrough for Joshua. It's going to be an easy day at the office for him if that fight gets made. But I wouldn't mind it though.
But you know that other day. But you know that other day I was talking with someone about Joshua maybe jumping on the winner of Hay versus Bellew. I wouldn't want to see that fight, but business-wise, I can see them jumping on the fight.
Yeah, that could do that, man, because Bellew, he is a name, man. Joshua can get him on his resume. I mean, that would be a very, very shocking move. I mean, well, I won't say shocking, but let's say a very bold move for Eddie Hearn to make that fight happen for December 17th, because, he's already spent a lot of revenue to make this fight, the rematch between Hay and Bellew. Yeah. And now that Hayes backed out, that's costing them money. They're going to have to put in a high-profile opponent to make up for that. So,
what about Shannon Briggs and Bellew?
David, I'd love to see that one. I think people will come to see that fight. All the theatrics. Yeah, I prefer that one. And Briggs will take that in a heartbeat. He needs the money, so he'll take that one in a heartbeat. Obviously, I would favor Bellier to win that fight because all he needs to do is wait for Shannon to gas out in the first round, then take advantage of him and pick him apart afterwards. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, man. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank all you guys for coming on. I know this was a live debate between Zone 6 and Low Place. They both have exited the live chat. Boxing Beats of Ryan just came in here, so shout out to the brother Boxing Beats of Ryan. Shout out to D Style, Red Fox for coming in. Of course, you as always, Charlie Brown. Appreciate you guys. So
Yeah, man.
Charlie Brown, when I'm gonna end this, I'm gonna need you to stay online while I end this broadcast, and everybody else, y'all can hop off if y'all want. So everybody in the comment section, I thank you guys for partaking. 68 Rendezvous, I see you in there, brother. Olef the Mighty, I know you're too late, brother, but you're gonna have to watch the whole thing after I end this. From the beginning. Black Latin Caesar, great drink.
Well,
I
go
see.
on, Olaf. Sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah, Olive. Yeah, you recommended him to my channel, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Appreciate that. Alexander Mayweather, shout out to you as always, brother. Champ Ross, 1224529, the female boxing fan. Shout out to you, madam. Sister, as always, a pleasure. I think I got everybody. Doc Dre, M Reynolds, all you guys. And I know Lester, I know we go at it a lot, man, because I know you're a Adonis Caesar fan. But I gotta give you a shout out too, man. But anyways, thanks you guys. I'll leave it up to you for you guys to decide who won the debate between Zone 6 and Low Place. Other than that, so we are out. Peace.
Yeah, man, peace.
Peace, man.